all we hear is the sound of children's laughter, echoing. Giggles, chuckles. In the darkness, flicker as a streetlight illuminates. Early evening of a street below, we see a young boy, maybe only 5 or 6 years old, holds the hand of a woman, and they stand at the bottom of a set of stairs leading to a nice townhouse. As the light illuminates them, long shadows are cast down the street. The pair take a few steps to the front door. The woman knocks. Shortly thereafter, the door opens. And a middle-aged woman opens the door. Light spills from the room, casting a second set of shadows back down the stairs. The boy carries a bag. The woman carries a suitcase, another bag. They're welcomed in to the nice townhouse. They all step inside. Our perspective moves from the lamp to a window. We see inside the townhouse. We see the young boy who has a soft flat cap on, takes it off. A woolen coat she takes off. And as the two women exchange a formal conversation, the young boy attempts to reach the hat onto a stand that's just out of reach. He seems straining. The two women conclude their conversation, and the one who joined the boy kneels down to him, puts an assuring arm on his shoulder, and then leaves. And now we see a middle-aged woman, greying hair which is pinned back, wearing smart attire, leads the boy out of our shot in the window, and we follow down the side of the townhouse to the next room. She leads him to a set of stairs. He takes his bags, drops them into a room. The shot continues round. Time passes, it gets darker outside, and through another window, you see the shadow, silhouette of a neatly kept flower box. In a warm interior, we see a kitchen and a dining table. The young boy sits as the woman prepares a meal. She serves the food. The boy hastily grabs his cutlery, tucks in. The woman sits opposite and eats with the boy. We see a shadow across the window. And again. It passes again, this time the shadow stops. It's just the silhouette of a cat watching in through the window. The boy finishes his meal, puts his cutlery down, goes to leave. You see the woman's hand slam the table. The boy stops, freezes in place, pulls himself back to the table. The woman continues to slowly finish her meal. The boy watches. The evening passes. And we cut to another window, a smaller window that looks into a study. Very well kept study. You can see newspaper clippings framed on the wall. You can see a picture of the same woman, but she's younger. She's wearing military garb. We can see a military beret which is hung very carefully on the wall. And we see the door which is just slightly ajar. There's just one single light in the study. We see the door just open slightly. And the boy creeps in, now wearing his nightgown. His curious eyes look about the room. You see a wry smile, a flicker of the light in his eyes as he sees things of interest. He creeps in, See him look up at the picture. Look at the beret. Just reaches his hand just as he'd done to put his own hat on the hook. Just manages to reach it. Beautiful, well-kept purple beret. You see the insignia of the army on it. Pops it on. It's oversized. Goes over the top of his ears. Puts it on. It's a silent march around the study. The door flies open. The woman, still in her evening attire, grabs the boy by the arm. With the back of her hand, smacks him across the head. You see the beret fly off onto the ground. You see the boy's head twist and jerks as his flop of mousy brown hair is thrown back. She drags him out of the room. You just see the two of them disappear down the corridor. We pull away to see all the lights in the windows of the townhouse dim, go to darkness. We see a shot of the interior of a bedroom. You can just see the light peeking through the crack of a doorway. And in the foreground, you can just see the outline of the woman laying in bed. You see the slow up and down of her chest as she breathes in sleep. And as the door creeps open, you see the silhouette of a small hand pushing the door open. The door closes, and in darkness, you hear the sound of something very sharp pierce directly into skin. And then you hear the gargle of someone who is drowning in their own blood. And as the gargle, which is created by someone who is attempting to breathe through fluid that is gathered, is amplified as that person attempts to laugh through drowning. You hear the horrific sound of bubbling blood as laughter attempts to escape the person's mouth. We cut to a beautiful spring morning. We see the beautiful salmon facade of the Grand New Fair Hotel in the opulent district of Silver Slip here in the city of New Fair. The Grand New Fair is one of the most sought after hotels in the city. The finest to stay here, the finest pass through here. It has beautifully kept gardens at the front, several stories high. There's a gravel road that leads through the gates where we can see carriages, automobiles dropping off, picking up residents and guests. It's a busy season here in the Silver Slip. And we see gaggles of families, of business people, of holiday makers coming in and out, bringing bags off of their carriages, all wearing very fine attire, guests here, of a certain pedigree. As one carriage pulls up to the front, we see a well-dressed valet, dark navy suit, the driving cap, white gloves, opens the door, holds out their hand. Who steps out of the carriage to arrive at the hotel this morning?
Professor Albert Fairchild accepts the hand gratefully, and then thinking twice, waves it away. I can do it myself, thank you very much. And he strides out of the carriage with purpose, makes his way up the gravel path and into the Grand Hotel.
As you enter into the main doors of the hotel, we see the interior which has a very Art Deco style, teal and white, but there is the gold framing. There is the the classic sort of umbrellaed sort of petal leafing on the top, marble flooring, a wonderful sort of tile pattern. Could you describe Professor Albert Fairchild to us and how he looks and what he does as he enters into the main entrance here of the hotel?
We see a rather tall, well-appointed gentleman, waistcoat and shirt, golden pocket watch chain. He's a rather stern countenance and walks with a brisk pace, but possibly the most shocking aspect of his appearance is the bright white of his hair, which for a man of early 40s is extremely uncommon. Glasses and a ring on each of his hands, and he looks about rather sternly and doesn't particularly take with all the pomp and circumstance of this place, but he knows he's here for a reason.
Of course. You walk through the main entrance, and indeed there are guests arriving, guests leaving. The main entrance here is busy with people. And you see there's the main desk at the back, you see the sweeping stairs either side, and you are having to navigate your way through this busy entrance hall. Cut away from the professor to the dining room. Breakfast is being served. There are multiple servers who are bringing fresh tea, fresh coffee. There are tableside chefs cooking omelettes. There's a huge buffet bar in the centre. But off to the side, in a quiet corner on their own table, someone sips a proper cup of coffee. Who do we see already in the breakfast bar?
I think that will be me.
Who do we see sat having their own cup of coffee?
We see a young woman in her early 30s, sat there at a table by herself. She's got her head in a notebook, making some scribbles down. She got brown curly hair, brown eyes. She's quite well put together as she sits there and eats some breakfast, drinking her coffee, paying attention to everything going on around her.
You see a young gentleman, a server, comes over. He has a little pot of coffee in his hand. He says, "Excuse me, ma'am, would you like a little top-up?"
Yes, that would be great, thank you.
It's Miss Wilson. Any more cream?
I'm fine, thank you, darling.
Right you are, ma'am. Shuffles away. We cut from the busy breakfast bar and down a side street of the hotel, away from the hubbub of the main entrance, away from the hubbub of the breakfast bars. We see an automobile. Nice car. Rolls up the side street, parks at a gate that is for the staff. There is a pathway, the short pathway that leads to sort of a staff entrance. Who jumps out of the car?
I guess that's me.
Who do we see stepping out of the automobile?
You see in full bellhop attire, maroon colored, with buttons all the way up the front, and a circular pillbox hat. A clean-shaven, clean-cut, friendly-looking man with a smile, waves to anybody that he sees, carrying a couple bags, and looking ready to start the day.
As you enter through the side of the building, through the staff quarters. The hotel is already busy with people. But you know how this place ticks and how it operates. Off the top of your head, could name most of the guests of importance that are here. And as you step into the main foyer, everything seems to be in order. But that's not why you are here this morning. As we cut from there, we see a figure who is walking through an unlit tunnel. A secret passage, if you will, of which, to this particular hotel, there are a few. But this person walks with an oil lamp that just illuminates their face. Who do we see?
I think you'd see a man. His focus being drawn directly from his eyes. That's where it kind of leads where he needs to go. Taking everything in. Every little bit of detail and nook and cranny around the place. He's taking it all in. He grips on for life a leather art folder. You'll never see him without it, just like the silk scarf that wraps around his neck. I think these two items define who he is, where he's come from, where he's going. But today he walks with an extra weighted feeling to him, reluctantly making his way down the corridor.
You reach the end of the darkened corridor. There's a click. You slide the door open. It leads to a sort of a small vestibule, for which you know there is another secret door that leads into the hotel proper. In the vestibule, you see there is a finely dressed man and a younger woman. You recognise the man, a politician. The younger woman, certainly his mistress, as they are heading towards this secret passage for their own purpose.
You just let them past.
Brush past, head into the hotel proper, here at the backside, close to the conservatory, where there is the games room. You open in behind the secret door and into the hotel. Proper, a little quieter here at the back of the hotel at this time of morning. You enter in. We cut from there, and we see the beautiful main elevator, which is behind the staircase in the main foyer. Beautiful gold framing. And we watch the elevator rise. We see it pass through several floors. And it stops. You see the doors open. A handful of children pour out. A couple. You see another bellhop as a carriage pushes out a bunch of suitcases. And a figure remains at the back of the elevator. Who do we see?
So you see everyone run out the elevator and off and doing what they're up to. The final figure's not looking straight forward. He's looking to the left. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He almost doesn't notice the fact that the doors have opened. He's just staring himself in the eyes. He's got brown hair, middle parting, but it looks like it probably could have done with a haircut maybe a month ago or a couple of weeks ago. His attire is... it looked like it would have been high-end had it been kept in good nick, but it has not been. He's just looking himself in the eyes, and all of a sudden he realizes the doors are open and it's just him, and he comes to and heads off.
Indeed. The circle of the 8th floor, our team of investigators, aren't holiday makers, nor are they here for work today, as you gather at the suite, which is your chapter house, which is kept and looked after by your lightkeeper. And here, as you all come together in the suite, sit down on the sofas in the lounge area, and you are greeted by your lightkeeper, Abdulkader Kazemi. You see a slender, tall, tan-skinned man who wears a sort of champagne-coloured suit. Always wears a sort of different coloured headscarf. Today is a sort of light blue colour. Has a dark moustache which curls nicely, instead of hoop earrings. He himself a retired investigator. See the visible scar which runs up his neck and onto his cheek. As you all gather, he has fresh tea set out and he has poured tea for himself. He says, "Good morning, investigators. It's good to see you all. How are we?"
Great, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you today?
I'm well,
I love the color of your headscarf.
thank you.
Great choice.
Yes.
You say that every time.
Am I wrong?
Well, no, don't get me wrong. It's a lovely headscarf, but you lose a bit of the...
I know, but today I feel like it's really, it topped yesterday, it topped the day before. Really great. Really great.
Colours of headscarves notwithstanding, Mr. Rafferty, I'm sure Mr. Kazemi does not want to spend all day discussing his fashion choices. Therefore, Mr. Kazemi, if you wouldn't mind enlightening us as to why we might be here,
Yes.
we can get on, so to speak.
And he hands you your assignment files.
Take one, pass it on.
Yes, I gathered that, thank you.
Thank you.
There has been an incident in the eaves at the Darlingford residence.
Sorry, could you say again, the Darlingford
Yes,
kind of incident?
Ms. Darlingford. Well, it seems she's been the victim of, on the face of it, murder. A friend of ours in the periphery, Officer Reese Weiss, they have alerted us to potential bleed. Only a couple of days ago, Ms. Darlingford was to become the new guardian of her great-nephew, a boy called Wilf. Wilf returned to the orphanage and had no explanation for where Miss Darlingford was. Our friend in the periphery, Officer Weiss, joined a care worker from the orphanage to ascertain the status of Miss Darlingford. And they report this morning that Miss Weiss is aware of the dangers of what we do. And although she thinks Miss Darlingford is gone, there is peculiar remnants. Miss Weiss said that the body of Miss Darlingford, though certainly dead, was laughing. Officer Vice is still at the Darlingford residence with the care worker. Their name is Esther. Officer Vice isn't sure if Esther is involved or has any other knowledge, but for now they are there.
I see. This, Esther, was she harmed in any way? Or
No, apparently Esther is Wilf's primary care worker at the orphanage, had joined him in the sort of final handover of the guardianship, and only returned once Wilf had reappeared at the orphanage to say that Miss Darlingford was nowhere to be seen, or he wasn't sure what had happened to Miss Darlingford.
He made his own way back to the orphanage.
Yes. Yes.
Do we have a timeline for this? Did he?
He appeared at the orphanage sometime last night,
Okay.
and the care worker and Officer Vice this morning went to the Darlingford residence.
And has she stopped laughing, or is that still what she's...
Miss Vice's report said that she could hear and could see. It seemed like the very dead body that was laughing.
Laughing. Great.
good lord,
Must have been some hell of a joke.
really?
If we are not in a place where we think we are ready to take on another assignment, I can move this to another circle.
Yeah, are we really all good? Are we all
yes.
okay?
No, we will be fine, I think.
Are we sure?
I mean, hearing the word murdered never gets any easier.
We assume it was murder? Do we know?
No. Miss Officer Vice has kept the care worker at the scene for the only other person who has supposedly been in the residence.
And the boy?
Still at the orphanage. I would suggest visiting the residence first, perhaps thereafter the orphanage.
Is he?
If there is bleed at the scene, that needs containing first.
Naturally.
Professor Fairchild, I need to remind you that tomorrow is Miss Crawford's funeral.
I'm aware.
It would be pertinent if you could be there. The rest of you are welcome if you can do so.
I'm good, thank you.
Discreetly.
You're fine.
You're not going?
No, I'm not going.
Well, quite. I shall attend. If I am able.
All right, so we go to the residence first and then the orphanage?
Yeah.
Certainly. Yes.
We cut from here, from the 8th floor. As you prepare yourselves, depart from the hotel, and journey across to the eaves, the nicest part of New Fair. The upper class live in the eaves, part of the city that is built upon arches that go over the top of South Suffolk, which is the lowest class region, district of the city. The eaves stands up high, the highest part of the city. Beautiful townhouses, there are beautiful manors, buildings that are gaudy, horrendous colours, but there is money. You find yourselves standing next to the same lamppost at the bottom of the stone stairs that lead to the townhouse door. Now at the front of the door you see a short, pale-skinned woman with sort of mousy blonde hair that's sort of roughly tied up. See, she wears the sort of the dark blue of the periphery, and her jacket has the hat just sort of tucked under the arm, just smoking a cigarette, sort of stood outside the front door as you approach. You've met and worked with on occasion Officer Reese Weiss.
Knock, knock.
Hey.
Good morning. We have been dispatched
Yeah.
to investigate, if you don't mind.
Oh no, you'd be my guest.
Thank you.
I kept it broad just in case. But I don't really know what's going on. But she seems fine. I mean, she's real upset. So, I don't think she did it.
Is that so?
But I kept her anyways because it seemed like the right thing to do.
And what floor is the laughing corpse on?
Second, not this floor. The next one up.
Is it still laughing?
Huh?
Is it still laughing?
I didn't go for seconds. I opened the door, and there's blood all over the sheets.
I see.
Which is, and I think, well, that she's dead, and then I hear, I closed the door pretty quick and came downstairs.
There's no one else in the room.
I didn't go any further. I opened the door, I'd seen that, I didn't fancy going any further, so.
Well, that's fair. I understand, but we might just be dealing with quite a bit of a sadist. Somebody who snuck into the crime scene and finds a whole debacle funny.
Maybe.
So you're hoping this entire thing is mundane, Mr. Slightholm?
Yes, that's the easiest answer, isn't it?
Wouldn't it just be that?
Would be nice, to be honest.
It's not what we're here for, is it, Miss Wilson?
All right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Sure, if you need anything.
Oh, thanks.
It's a heavy case.
I didn't get time to get a coffee, and it turns out Miss Darlingford drinks tea, so
Oh,
if...
well, we're here. Do you want to run and get yourself sorted out? Take 5?
Sure.
We got it.
All right.
Perhaps don't go too far. We may have some questions for you.
Yeah. She can have 5 minutes, though, right?
Of course, of course. Take 5 minutes.
All right.
Just don't go very far.
Okay. Do you want a cigarette?
I don't smoke, thank you very much.
How many have you got?
What? Not enough for everybody, but I got a... Do you want a cigarette?
Yeah, go on then.
Perhaps later, Mr. Slightholm, we have...
Relax, Professor. Opens a tin. See a few rolled up cigarettes.
Thank you.
It's because you're burning paper. He gets a little, triggered because of the books.
I didn't roll these cigarettes out of paper, not from pages from books,
I understand. Very droll.
That's all right.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna get a coffee. Enjoy,
All right.
Oh, for sure.
and you head into the front door of the Darlingford residence. You see immediately there is a staircase that leads to the first floor. You see the corridor continues, and you can see the kitchen beyond. You see the doorway to the right. You can still see the coat stand with a hat that's hung just out of reach. How'd you proceed?
I'm going to put a hand on Albert's shoulder just before I assume he's going to take the first step in.
Yes?
Now, I know we're going to try and find something here, but you have to remember we don't want to have a nasty answer.
No? I am aware. I simply think it would be more interesting were it to be some form of phenomena. That is, after all, why we created this circle, is it not?
Yes, you're absolutely right, but I do think that a murdered woman and a re-orphaned orphan is probably interesting enough.
Quite, and it is not a laughing matter, Mr. Slightholm. I take this very seriously.
Oh, I know.
It's a tragedy. That's what it is.
Correct, Mr. Rafferty. Well done. Now, I suggest someone slightly more approachable than myself interviews Esther. Mr. Rafferty?
We got a journalist right here.
Well, I was going to say some of us could go talk to Miss Esther, and the others can maybe go have a look upstairs.
I'd like to see if the boy's all right.
Well, he's at the orphanage.
That's right. I was not paying attention.
That's all right, Marty. It's been a long morning.
It has, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind going to talk to Miss Esther if someone wants to come with me, and if y'all want to go check upstairs.
Yeah, why don't you take Happy over there? Have a little chat and we'll go and
All right, come on, Marty.
see what's going on.
Okay.
Perhaps, Mr. Royce, you might want to accompany them. I assume a laughing corpse is not to your preference.
No, I'll go upstairs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure.
Right then.
All right.
As the shot splits and we watch Marty, Dottie, head down the corridor towards the kitchen, where you can just see the outline of someone still sat at the dining table as the professor, Reginald, Tyler, head up the stairs. You head up the stairs and onto the landing. You can see more pictures. You see a whole brigade of soldiers in a photo. You see a small plaque with the name of the brigade and the years of service. You see small side tables where well-kept flowers stand in vases. And down a short corridor, you can see a door that is closed. Brass knob. How would you like to proceed?
Let's make sure our equipment's working before we step on in, okay?
By all means.
Absolutely. I'm going to pull out of my pocket. It's an old brass compass, and it's facing north. But when I flick it a couple of times, it redirects itself and aims. That's my bleed detector.
Amazing. You
I'll bring it out. Is it active? Is it doing anything?
It faces north. You activate it, and it just twitches just a little. Not in a particular direction, but it's
twitching.
It's twitching.
Peering over his shoulder, I will mutter in his ear. Well, what does that mean? It's twitching. What is it?
I know it's twitching.
What does that mean, Mr. Slightholm?
Well, it's not supposed to twitch, is it?
It's a compass.
Yes, exactly. It means we've got an anomaly.
Thank you.
Sitting about maybe a 4 out of 10 at the minute. Sometimes I can see it do full circles, so
4 out of 10 isn't too great a danger, I think. Perhaps we can venture forth.
well, if it's not too great, then you can go first.
Fine, I will. And I turn the handle of the knob and I enter the room.
As
Take a
you
look around.
enter into the bedroom, dare we describe this master bedroom in this townhouse for me?
The professor takes a look around at the meager room. Very utilitarian, functional. A small queen-size bed, hand-knitted quilts, a few sparse pictures adorn the walls. Pictures of family, perhaps. A dresser with a hairbrush and a small vanity mirror, and a large oak wardrobe towards the south wall. And the window, again small but functional, allows in a soft dappling of the morning light, which splays across the bed and off towards the wardrobe. Well, it's small but clean, I suppose.
What do you mean, apart from all the blood?
Indeed, and in the
There
bed
is-
beneath knitted blankets and sheets lay as if nicely tucked in bed. You see a figure, middle-aged woman, maybe early 50s. Her dark hair, which is pinned and wrapped, ready for tomorrow's fabulous hairdo. You see the nightgown pinned up, sheets pulled too, and you can see the whole top half is completely stained red. You can see where the sheet falls off the side. The blood has just collected and dripped, pooled on the floor. There's a small rug at the base of the dresser that has begun to soak up the blood as it pours away. And you can see on the compass still just twitching slightly, and you can just hear the sound of and you can see Ms. Darlingford's eyes still open.
Still open? Do they look like they've got any cognition? Or are they...
Do you move to look into her eyes?
I'll have a little glance at my friends. I'll say, hey, Tyler.
Yeah.
A dyslexic fellow walks into a bra. Oh, she stopped laughing. Oh, that's not good.
Really,
She didn't find that one funny then.
really.
Well, I'll go first, shall I?
I think you better had after that.
And I walk up to her. I see her lying there, and I look into her eyes, and I try and ascertain if there's anything in there, or if the laugh is purely mechanical, or if there's anything going on.
Roll for me a read check.
Oh dear.
You got it.
If you'd like it to be sense, you could also roll sense. I'll leave it to you.
It's all the same to me.
Beautiful.
Kick things off with a 1, shall we?
Oh, good lord.
You move towards Miss Darlingford, and the laughter and the gargling is broken. It's not consistent, and her eyes look directly towards the ceiling. You move towards her to look closer to her eyes. Her eyes, there isn't the shine of life. There's something there, but she stares blankly. You look closer, and she...
Bloody
blood
fuck.
splatters
Uh-oh.
across your face, and you taste it in your mouth as it catches inside your mouth, and you turn to react, and the two of you see Reginald, this splatter of blood across his face
Ah, shit.
as he wipes it from his mouth.
Oh, fuck.
You can take a brain mark from it.
Straight in there.
I've already lost my pencil as well, thank you.
I will delicately
Oh my god, oh,
pull my
You okay?
handkerchief.
You alright?
Yes, I'm
You good?
fine.
You
Blood
got-
tastes like shit, to let you all know.
Perhaps.
Bloody hell.
Perhaps, Mr. Slightholm, she did in fact find it quite funny here.
You want me to pass that over to
Oh, do you think it was a delayed reaction? Thank you. Yes, I'll take that.
You feeling okay? You feeling all right?
You may keep that.
You don't want it back, no?
No, thank you very much.
Well, there's someone with a bit more panache. Want to go and have a look, or?
I don't think in all my time of studying I've ever read about laughing corpses, but I will have a look around the room. And perhaps we can ascertain to whence the murderer went.
Yeah. You want to begin sort of an investigation of the room.
Yes.
In general terms. As Reginald wipes the blood from his face, you're able to see that on his shirt there is a splatter of blood as well. Roll a focus roll for me.
Oh my.
Or you can roll... No, this would be focus. Yeah,
Okay.
Focus.
Now, I do believe I have 2 notches in focus, and it is also gilded.
Wonderful. So make one of those dice a gilded dice.
So
one
I
of
roll
those 2.
3, correct?
If you've got 2 notches, you just roll 2, and one of them becomes gilded.
I see. We shall take the gilded one for a 6.
Ooh,
Yes, indeed.
lovely. On a full success, you can see that the blood that was spat up onto Reginald's face was when Miss Darlingford laughed. The splatter that was on his shirt came from another source, which is the puncture wound in her trachea, where you can see most of the blood is coming from. You can still see a slash wound where the blood, where she laughs, still gargles and bubbles as well. Just a very small slash mark. And with a full success on that 6, blood has pooled and gathered in all the soft elements of the bed and dripped down onto the floor. But as you look towards the feet of Tyler and Reginald that stand behind you, there's just a very gentle trail that leads out of the room.
A trail of blood.
Yes.
Oh my. Well, I think they went that way. See, look, the trail leads out of the room.
With blood.
Yes. She was, stabbed in the neck, it seems.
Does it look like there was a struggle in here, or was it like, is there anything knocked over, or is it all...
No struggle. Everything's as it should be, aside from the fact that she's dead and she's still laughing about it.
It makes me feel like she was caught unawares.
Sleeping, perhaps?
I don't know. Does she look ready for bed? Is she in like a nightgown or something, or...
Yeah, she looks as if she's just enjoying her sleep. She's still tucked up, hair kept. Doesn't look to the sheets don't look to be tossed, and aside from the blood and the very faint trail, the window's closed, the drawers and the dresser closed.
What does your compass say?
The compass just
Still just
twitches
twitching.
slightly and just moves. There is trace here, certainly from the body of Miss Darlingford. There isn't anything active here.
Okay. Well, I think we're on the start of the trail, but I'm not sure there's much to find here. Do you reckon that follows all the way out the room?
I will take a look. I'll move out into the hallway and check and see if the trail continues.
Would you all like to follow the trail?
I think Tyler will stay back.
Okay. Do you join the professor?
Yeah, I think I'm caught up in it. I think I'm looking at this as well. What do you think, Professor? Does this count as evidence, or...?
Certainly, but I would suggest perhaps investing in a new shirt as soon as possible.
Well, this was a new shirt once upon a time.
Stains like those probably won't be removed.
Yeah, but do you reckon if it's evidence, I might be able to get a replacement on the lighthouse?
I'm sure Abdul would be happy to supply you with a new shirt, Mr. Slightholm.
Perfect.
We cut from there to Marty and Dottie as you are in conversation with Esther. You sit at the dining table. Esther has already introduced themselves to you. You see a woman who's in her late 20s, dark skin, slightly heavy set. She wears wonderful sort of purple coat. She has a matching hat, which is just sort of laid on the table. She has very dark curly hair. You can see that she wears a little bit of eye makeup that's definitely been smudged off, and you can see that she's been in tears at some point this morning. Tea has been made and drank, and she has composed herself as the two of you have introduced yourselves to her. Where does your line of questioning go here?
Esther, you said you've been Wilf's care worker for how long now?
Well, since it came to the orphanage, it weren't too long ago, only a few months.
Right, okay. And you, yesterday, you dropped him off here, left?
Yes, yesterday, yeah. No, it was the day before.
The day before, okay.
Yeah.
So he'd been here a night? A couple nights?
He'd been here, well, just about a day, yes.
Okay.
And then the poor lad returned to Robin's Nest and said he hadn't seen Miss Darlingford. She hadn't come for breakfast. He didn't know what to do with himself. So the poor lad walked all the way back to the orphanage.
Poor kid. What was his relationship like to Miss Darlingford?
Well, it were Wilf's parents' wishes that Miss Darlingford would be his guardian, a sort of last remaining relations, I think. Mm-hmm. So there's been a couple of months of paperwork, sort of transition period of introducing them. Miss Darlingford seemed like a strict lady, proper, but they seem to be getting on well. He said he liked it here.
So is that usual that you stay here for a little while with them and make sure they get, well adjusted before you leave, or?
Well, just I wouldn't stay. I'd sort of bring a child for visits and vice versa.
Right. Okay.
And the other day was the official transition to him moving here permanently.
And when he made his way back to Robin's Nest, you came with him, I assume?
Well, no, he arrived on his own.
Yeah,
and then well, I didn't want to. I was worried about what had happened to Miss Darlingford, so I came, and that's when I sought Officer Vice, and we came together.
Right. Okay.
Well, she didn't say too much, but I think she's in a good way, is she? And now poor Wilf's. I'm not going to upset again.
It's all right. I slide over, a couple napkins towards her. You want more tea?
Yes, I can pour the kettle.
No, I can do it.
Okay, thank you.
Stay put.
Thank you.
Get a teapot and start pouring.
But he hadn't seen Miss Darlingford. He just didn't know where she was, and he came back.
I think he was a bit confused. He said there was rooms he wasn't meant to go in. One of them being a bedroom. So he's a good lad. So he didn't want to intrude and break the rules. So I think he came back because I think he was just a bit worried that he'd been left alone.
No, of course. That makes sense.
What's he like usually? Playful? Inquisitive?
He's got bags of energy and he's a really chatty lad.
Alright.
He's a good boy.
Do you think we'd be able to speak with him? Would he be alright?
Are you with the periphery?
Well, we're just trying to find out what happened, basically, yeah.
Well, I suppose as you'd have to ask the director of Robin's Nest if it's all right to speak with
Of
him.
course.
We're acquaintances of Miss Weiss. She asked for our help.
Right. I'm sure. Mrs. Carson will be able to facilitate talking to, especially if it's going to help iron all this out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yes. We cut from there. As Tyler, you stand now alone,
Yeah.
silent, apart from the occasional splutter from the body of Miss.
I think Tyler is just leaning against the wall, just eyes locked on the corpse that's laughing. I think like equal parts horrified and fascinated. Just trying to find the source of what is making it laugh from a distance.
What thoughts is Tyler?
Is there something that is currently inhabiting the body? Or is there something using it like a puppet? Is it coming from within, or is it being forced to almost mime?
We just see a shot of silence for a good few seconds as Tyler's eyes just dart across the room, across her body, as he's just deep in thought.
I think he'll just crack his neck and his body will start dragging him toward the body. And I think he'll take his middle finger and just place it on her cheek. And take a moment just before he does. Holds his breath and then touches it.
The moment your finger touches a cold face, the laughter clarifies. But it's all in your mind. But you can hear her laughter. It's clear and pure. And it changes. The laughter is female, feminine, and full. It then shifts and it is childlike. can see Miss Darlingford before you. But as her face becomes sketched, as if you had already drawn her before, she's just a girl. You can see her bright eyes and her hand reaching down. You can see her other hand reaches back and she pulls her hand away from her parents' hand to be free. And in her hand, she has a coin. She runs over to a beggar who is sat. They look dishevelled and ill. Sunken, sallow features. They look dirty. You see they smile towards her and they're missing teeth. They could be dangerous. But you see, she rushes over. The man reaches out from underneath the dirty cloak, his hand, and she places the coin in his hand. Waves. Runs back to her parents. You release your finger from the face, and you can see your sketch pad lay out on the bed. And the final of your hand, which has been subconsciously scrawling. An image that is in a style that is very familiar to you, but confusing in that the drawings that you've drawn before, given what you can see, often depict the final moments of one's life. A gift, if you will, that you've been getting a hold of, trying to understand for many years. But one thing you know to be true is that it draws the last moments. What you've drawn is a memory of Miss Darlingford when she was but a child. The image of her breaking one hand away from her parents and gifting a coin to this beggar. Would you like to push any further for anything else? With anything that you have at your disposal?
As Tyler kind of gets that download of information and he doesn't feel satisfied. That didn't come as easy. I think ego gets in the way. And yeah, I'll go further and I'll place my whole hand on her face and grasp it to really make sure there's a connection there. I'm not sure if she knows if she's dead or not, or whether that was just a dream.
It's a bleed that you're going to take for this, right?
Yeah.
In last moments.
Yes.
Grip her face, and her face has blood smeared across it because of the laughter. But you can feel that it's sticky. You put your hand to her face. There's not much warmth to her face, despite her eyes being open. I'm fairly certain she's dead. And you grip it, and much like the hand on the compass, you can just feel a slight twitch. That same twitch, just off center in yourself. That memory that you've just drawn flashes before you, and you can feel that twitch in your hand as you frantically draw it once more, your hand on her face. And you break over the top of the drawing that you'd already drawn, you see the silhouette in darkness. You've burnt this pencil down as you scribbled darkness, because in the last moments she was in darkness, and just through the very edges of this darkness there is the silhouette of a small figure stood on the chest of Miss Darlingford, stabbing into her neck. Roll a sense roll for me. Standard stakes, I'd say. Because you've already taken bleed for this, so this will be standard stakes.
I'm gonna drive it just cause. And it is gilded. That'll be a 5.
Okay. Not on the gilded, or
Not on the gilded,
okay.
no.
On a mixed success, as you heavy breath. This isn't comfortable for you to do, although it's familiar. It's still stressful. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
You take a breath. You feel the adrenaline. You feel the bleed. How does the bleed feel?
The bleed feels like, like the true source of anxiety. Like if you could find the purest form without any sort of, I don't know, social buzzwords to surround it. Just that sense of fuck.
Does it just
Right
hit
here.
You? Yeah.
That's how it feels.
That paired with the stress of how you try and control what you have, and this image you are left with, which is an image over an image. This isn't how you usually draw these moments. You believe the silhouette of this figure standing over the chest of Miss Darlingford to be her, the final thing she witnessed. You believe this memory is a very particular moment of her life that is flashing before her eyes. But it's not her whole life flashing before her eyes. It's a forced memory of this one very particular moment that she has been forced to relive in her final moments.
Okay. One more thing I have is let them in, which is whenever I take a bleed mark, I can also gain additional information about the phenomenon that harmed me. I can ask you one question about the source of the bleed.
Of course.
As I relive this memory that's being forced upon her, does the No, I'll ask a different question. Does the individual that's stabbing her in the throat, does the energy that comes off that individual feel like a young individual, or does it feel like an older individual? Does it feel of youthful energy? Is there an innocence or a naivety to it, or is there a...
No, there is an intention with the
There's an
with the
intention.
image of the figure that you see.
Like they
There
wanted
is-
to kill?
Oh, most certainly the style in which you've drawn the silhouette is one of intention, and you believe that the two are connected in that she has been forced to see this image, and the figure is the one forcing it.
Okay. As he kind of ruminates about what's happening, he'll realize that he is still gripped onto her face. After about 30-40 seconds of just going over it, and has to like, almost as if he's like fused to her a little bit. He has to like break his grasp off of her. And no, and yeah, just don't worry, I'll take that with me. And we'll turn around and walk out of the room.
As Tyler breaks away, you pour tea for Miss Esther. A pair of you following this very gentle trail of blood leads from this room and up the stairs and to another doorway. You open the door and you can see a couple of suitcases. You see a wooden ottoman which has a couple of toys sat upon it. You see a sort of humble, sort of iron-framed bed with a half-made bed cover on it. You can see some clothes that definitively belong to a child. The trail leads to this room. It goes no further. This would seem like the room that Wilf was staying in. What goes through the minds of the two of you as this trail leads to this boy's room?
As the professor regards the scene in front of him, there is a streak of disbelief that hits him as, putting two and two together as one would, he arrives at the conclusion that Miss Darlingford, having been murdered, and a trail of what we assume to be bloody footprints leading to the child's room, and the fact that there are only two individuals that inhabit this house at the time of the murder, there is a streak of disbelief that flashes across the professor's mind as he imagines that a child could have committed such an act. However, it is very quickly replaced by the very logical and sound notion that the bleed makes all things possible. And I think Mr. Slightholme will see this upon the professor's face as he sort of gasps, eyebrows raise, and then descend very quickly once again, as he nods and looks around the room.
Reginald?
I think I get to almost the same place from almost the opposite angle. I look at it all and I see that, yes, 2 and 2 should mean that all fingers point to the lad being the culprit, but I've also been around the world enough to know that strange things happen in strange places, and sometimes even stranger things happen right in front of your nose. So yeah, there's a pause, and then I kind of shake off of any prior belief or anything, and the more I spend around these people, the more I realize that there's no point in having a first impression, because something will always change it. I see you hesitate, and I nudge you in.
Really, Mr. Slightholme? Slightly inappropriate.
The two of you peruse the bedroom. All the suitcases still have well folded and nicely pressed clothes in it. It's a travel bag. It's a small drawing book, a little box of crayons. You don't find the blood leads to anything else. Look under the bed, all the usual places, but there's no weapon or anything to be found here. And we cut to the dining room where the five of you rejoin at the table. A fresh pot of tea has been made. Esther sits down. And tea is poured for you all. How would you like to proceed?
Not to be rude, do we need to talk to Esther anymore, or are we alright to have this room to ourselves?
Well, I can go if you like. I can go sit in the lounge if you need a private moment.
Well, I don't know. Do any of you want to say anything else, or?
I mean, I think we have everything we need to know from you. Thank you so much for talking to us for a little while.
No problem.
I just really hope you're all right.
Yes, I just need to make sure that Wilf's okay. But
Of course, yeah.
Before you go, miss, could you just describe the boy in a couple of words?
Energetic, vibrant, polite.
Has he ever displayed any preferences towards the macabre? Anything unsettling? Anything you might be worried about?
No, nothing like that.
Nothing slightly out of the ordinary?
Well, no, his parents both passed away.
How did they die?
Well, his mother had an illness, and his father was in the army. He died on the field.
I see.
But he knows that. He doesn't really talk about it, but he's aware. He doesn't. I don't think he dwells on it, or.
So you wouldn't describe him as damaged in any way?
Well, we have to be very careful. Yes, he's still.
Naturally. Children are.
He sounds like a good lad, miss, and he's very lucky to have you in his life. I'm sorry, that's just the professor's eccentricities showing through there.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. We'll come and find you in the living room if we need.
Okay, thank you. She exits the chamber, leaving the five of you to discuss your findings or otherwise.
What was that?
She was a useful source of information.
And now she's not.
A little dim, perhaps, but useful.
I'm sure she's going to open up to us now, isn't she?
She just did.
What have you learned?
That he was a polite, nice young man, apparently.
No, that's what I learned.
What did you learn then, Mr. Slido?
That he was a precise, polite young lad, and that she's not going to talk to us anymore.
Haha, very funny.
To be fair, we did talk to her. She didn't really know much anyway.
Thank you, Miss Wilson.
You're not suggesting that the kid had anything to do with it?
I'm entirely suggesting the kid had everything to do with it.
I think he did it, and I'll place the drawing down on the table. You'll see a sketch of like a street scene, and over that, the silhouette of a small figure lunging down toward your perspective, scribbled over the top. The scene before is very picturesque, almost like illustrated for a book. And then the drawing on top is almost like a drawing of a madman.
Right, now I understand why you asked that.
That and the set of bloody footprints leading to the child's room might suggest he had more to do with it than we first thought.
Small bloody footprints?
Yes, a child's footprints.
Which also happened to stop as soon as they reached the doorway, so as much as he's prime candidate, don't get me wrong, something's going on.
But Esther said that he woke up, well, it was this morning that he went and back to the orphanage. So
Well-
what, would he have stayed here overnight after doing that? If
Young
that was-
man, stabs grandmother, goes to bed, sleeps it off. Just call it out? What do we think?
Now, Esther did say that there were some rooms that he wasn't allowed to go in, including her bedroom.
And the other rooms?
I don't think she
I
said.
think everything else was fair game.
I see.
We need to find the kid.
Yeah.
I dare say.
The weird thing is, it seems she seems to be reliving a memory over and over again, holding what I can assume to be a parent's hand, letting go, taking a little coin and handing it to a mysterious figure.
What do we think? That's like a happy memory? Is that why she's laughing so much?
Well, yeah, when I touched her, her laugh transformed from what's happening in the room, which is more of a laugh if you were choking on your own blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it became of a small kid.
Can we make out where this is? Is this in New Fair?
Does it look familiar at all in terms of decor, or
Possibly not enough detail. Just sort of, it's a street, but
just looks like a
that's-
street to me? Street
great.
here is a street there.
I see.
But I think, yeah. The problem is if the boy did do it, he's now at an orphanage full of lots of people that he could do it too.
Therefore, we should try and seek him out as soon as possible. Contain him, if needs be.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we gotta go to Robin's Nest.
Well, before we venture forth, Mrs. Slightholm, there was a slight reading on your bleed detector, was there not? Does that not need to be contained?
I think there's traces, yeah.
Perhaps we should attempt to stop the corpse from laughing before it destroys others' sanity, perhaps?
Did it feel like there was active bleed there, or just...
It felt more residual. I don't know. I wonder if we solve whatever's going on, then maybe she will just stop laughing.
I think we maybe leave Officer Vice here. Just make sure nobody else comes in, and we can get on with the investigation.
Sensible.
Shall we take one last look? Is it worth it?
I wouldn't mind looking in the rooms we're not supposed to.
Yes, quite. If there are any rooms in this house that we haven't already investigated, it may be pertinent just to
For what information?
rule them out.
But I don't think there was anyone else here other than her and him. Not as far as we know, anyway.
True. But why would a child who seems so happy and hale and wholesome suddenly wake up in the middle of the night and stab his grandmother to
That
death?
would be called a phenomenon.
Exactly. And what caused this phenomenon?
Well, I think we need to speak to him. By all means, have a look around if you feel like it'll be necessary, but I just don't... I don't know what else we're going to find here.
A quick sweep to pick up every fact that we can find. That's all I
Alright.
ask.
Come on, Dottie, we've not been up there.
Sure.
How does Tyler feel about the time crunch that might be possibly happening here, and with the notion that the orphan has been taken to an orphanage?
I don't know. I think there is a... I think they've got enough. I think they... I think in the complacency proved to be fatal merely a month ago. And here we are, only 5 of us. Once again, potentially being a little bit complacent with the information given, I think is how Tyler feels.
I think we see a cutscene as the 4 of you, we see you in different rooms of the house, just nosying in, looking through paperwork, opening cupboards, moving things aside. And we see Tyler, the hangover of the anxiety and the stress, just stood at the bottom of the stairs, just breathing, attempting to control their breathing. And the rest of you clear the house. You find the study, the beret still on the floor, bathroom, another guest room, a lounge, a drawing room, all well kept, of a retired soldier, decorated, successful, a woman who had family, no direct family of her own, no next of kin in terms of partner or children, but extended family, and a trust in that family that allowed her to be the person that was chosen by Wilf's parents to look after. And with that, we gather outside the townhouse, and we cut to Robin's Nest. You arrive at the Seidel district, and you see sort of an old, sort of stony red brick building. Could have been a nice sort of manor house at one point, but it's been retrofitted to be an orphanage. We see a shot of you all walking the path towards the door, and there are children playing in the garden. You see many of them are playing together with toys, juggling. Some of them are flying a kite. Others are pretending an aeroplane has taken flight, chasing one another, making the sound of as if fighter pilots were chasing one another more. You arrive at the main door. There's a big porchway, and you see a somewhat burly figure, pale-skinned human man with sort of gingery hair, sort of big mustache, sort of grizzly mustache. He wears a sort of a maroon hat, sort of a worker's uniform on, some bit overalls, is like a tool belt, and you can see there's a bit of sawdust that's gathered on his clothes, and he has a small children's chair, and he's holding it, and your group, your circle, and he intersect at the front door as he sees you approach. Hey, what about you?
Daddy, you're up.
Hi there. Hi.
Hey, what's your business?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're just here just to check up on a little lad that you've got here.
What, they needed all of us to come?
This is a very special case, you understand. His name is Wilf. We just spoken to his care worker, Esther.
You know a lot of names.
I sure do. But I don't know yours. Who are you?
Make a sway roll for me.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
As I gave her a nudge forward,
You can spend a drive to,
spend a
to
drive.
give an extra dice.
Give an extra dice.
Come on.
All right, I'm going to dive it myself one as well.
Ooh.
So what's that for?
That's three dice.
3 dice.
Go on.
That's a 6.
Hey.
Are you taking the gilded or not taking? Not taking?
There wasn't a gilded.
Okay.
There was a 6 and a 5.
He says, "My name is Kaelin.
Say that again.
Kaelin."
Kaelin.
He sort of looks you over, all sort of suspicious, also sort of well dressed. There seems to be children, and you see a couple of adults who are sort of watching over the people in the garden. But it seems peculiar that a group of adults would arrive. But untrusting, he says, "Hey, you want to speak to Miss Carson, anyways?" And he opens the door. As he walks through, he sort of gestures through a hallway into a room, and he heads up the stairs, chair in hand. You arrive into the chamber, and you can see an older lady, probably in her sort of mid-60s, wonderful smile, big glasses with chains hanging around her neck. You see a beautiful blue teal cardigan, curly grey hair. Sat on a chair next to her is young boy, soft, flat cap, sort of mousy brown hair sticking out from underneath. As you arrive, she says, "Oh, hello. How may I help you?"
Hi, we've just come from talking to Esther, Will's care worker.
Oh, yes. This is Wilf. Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're just working with the officer on the case and what's happened. We're just trying to get some more information, is all.
Is
Would you rather him not be here for this, or?
No, that's fine. And you see, Wilf says, "Is Aunt Maggie okay?"
Well, that's what we're trying to find out for you.
All right.
When was the last time you saw Aunt Maggie?
Well, I guess it was yesterday before when she after dinner when we went to bed.
To bed, you not seen her since? You didn't see her?
Oh, I came down for breakfast.
No, she wasn't there?
Oh, I just waited and I didn't know what to do, so I just had an apple, and then I waited. I did some drawing, and then I thought maybe she should go to work or on a walk or something. So, but then she go back like all day. So I thought I was allowed to come back here.
So you were in the house all day, Wilf?
With Aunt Maggie?
When you said you couldn't find her, you waited all day.
Oh yeah, it was real good. I came to the table and just sat at the table. I thought.
Sure.
I
Oh
would
no,
wait for
that
Aunt
is
Maggie.
really good, and an apple as well. Brilliant, absolute, fabulous.
Well, I didn't think.
breakfast.
Miss Darlingford said I wasn't. Well, I'll have to help myself, but I was just real hungry.
I know. I
she
think an
hadn't
apple's
made
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like apples?
Oh, I love apples. What's your favorite, red or green?
I like green.
You like green?
Yeah. Because it'll be your biggest.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
You hungry? Now?
Oh no, Miss Carson made sure I had plenty of breakfast.
Great. Well, do you want to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
I go up to him. Marty's now in his off-duty attire. He's got a flat cap on as well. Snap. I kneel down in front of him and wave my hand in the air, reach behind his ear, and produce a small square piece of chocolate wrapped up in green.
Where did that even come from?
Your guess is as good as mine, kid.
Can I have it?
Of course you can.
Just,
My little girl loves that trick.
how many pieces of chocolate are behind my ear?
As many as you want there to be.
You must be special, Wilf, because there's never any behind mine. Look at that. Nothing.
That's pretty sad, mister.
I know.
Don't lose your cap. It's magic.
It is. So this time you hear the sound of running feet above you on the floorboards. And you can hear the sounds in here of giggling of children. You hear movement. We hear the floorboards above you creak. You hear muffled sounds of voices. And you hear the loud chewing of Wilf as he enjoys this bit of chocolate. And you hear a shout from above. Distraction. You see Miss Carson sort of looks up, frowns. See Wilf just chewing his chocolate, smiles. hear a slam, a shout, a scurry, a scuffle. Something falls, clangs and clatters. There is a thud. Something heavy hits the floorboards above. See a little bit of dust just fall slightly.
I take off, moving towards it.
Okay.
Mr. Rafferty, and I will glance at Miss Carson. Do you always allow your children to engage in such rambunctiousness? Mr. Rafferty, and I will take off after him.
Two of you run off. And you can hear, as the sound of clattering, raucous noise stops, you hear, muffled, you can hear, yeah, yeah. And you see, as Wilf holds the shiny wrapper of the chocolate in his hand, still beaming, a drop of blood from the floor above just drops onto the foil. And that's how we'll take our break. Join us back here to see where this goes.
Oh my god.
We hear the sound of children's laughter again as it rings through Robin's Nest, the orphanage. We also hear the sound of rushing footsteps as Marty and the professor run upstairs to follow what was the sound of a ruckus we see an image of a young boy holding a little wrapper of a piece of chocolate that now has a droplet of blood in it. Our other 3 circle members, their eyes from the ceiling to the boy, who looks bewildered. The 2 of you rush upstairs, and there was an open door. Several doors on the landing here that lead to several rooms, bedchambers. You can immediately see the body of a man laying face down through the door next to a bed. We see you rush towards the bedroom door. There is a small dresser cupboard. There's a window that looks out into the garden. There is a small iron frame bed. There are toys and clothes tossed across the room. You see, from behind, you see the waistcoat, the trousers, and the overalls of the man you just met at the door, Kalen. Face down, you see the maroon hat that he'd worn has rolled and lies on the ground. You can see he lies face down beside the bed. And you can see the blood underneath his body is pooling out from his leg and from his chest. You can see 2 pools of blood. And you can see it running into the floorboards, being soaked up by a sheet that has been pulled off of the bed as he's fallen. You can see his body slightly propped as there are some things that he's fallen onto. And in the chambers you step in, you hear from his body, his voice. Yeah. And you can just see his head slightly moving as he, yeah.
I think as soon as I catch a glimpse of his body on the floor, I'm stopped dead in my tracks. And I wait at the threshold of the room and try to take in the entire scene and not get too distracted by the body, and just do a full ocular sweep of the room, looking for other signs of movement, if there are any children present, and just do a thorough...
Make a survey roll for me. Normal stakes as you stand looking into the chamber.
I'm going to use my inspection ability to gild an additional die on the roll.
So do you get a gilded die anyway?
I get a gilded die.
So are they both gonna be gilded then?
So both gilded.
Okay.
I'm gonna drive it as well.
Okay.
Two 6s.
Oh God.
6s on a gilded.
I mean, my.
So you get that drive back.
Boy.
Albert, you follow Marty to this chamber. He stops, as he often does. You know he has a keen eye, sees things maybe others don't pick up on first inspection. You look over Marty's shoulder as he looks into the room. With critical success, you see a few things. You see the door of the small cupboard, the wardrobe, just close, as if it had been open and as you arrived had just closed. The body of Kalen lies on top of a few things. You see the room is messy. His head moves slightly as he cheers unnaturally. But you can see his arm, which is just slightly underneath the bed, just moves, and something moves from under his arm to underneath the bed, and the arm lands again, and something that was there disappears under the bed. And with that critical success, you hear a little scamper as something darts under the bed, and you can hear the soft whimper of something else within the cupboard.
As soon as, I guess, you catch up. The wardrobe. Under their bed.
Well, let's not stand on ceremony, man. Get in there. Do something.
Okay. Okay. I walk towards the wardrobe quite gingerly. I try. I'm not looking at the body.
Okay.
Don't want any part of that. I go straight for the wardrobe.
I think I will follow into the room, and I'm going to go to the body, and I'll turn him over to see if he's A, still alive, and B, whether there's anything I can do to help. Oh, good Lord. It's the man from the front door.
You heave over the heavy body of Kalen. As you do, spraying of blood from his leg. And you can see big puncture wound in the leg. You can see there is a stab wound somewhere in the rib cage. Blood is pouring. You see, as you turn him over, there's just these 2 puncture wounds that are just oozing. And you lie him over. You see there is a gout of blood from his mouth. One eye is sort of half closed. And as his eyes sort of roll, he goes, yeah.
Dear God.
You approach the wardrobe.
Is it flush to the wall?
The wardrobe is flush to the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I approach and I don't open it. I just stand by it and listen for anything that might be moving or whimpering on the inside.
You can hear the whimpering.
Does it sound like a child?
Yeah.
Can I still hear whimpering from under the bed too?
There's no whimpering from under the bed. You heard
Okay.
a
Scuffling.
scuffle or a scurry from under the bed. Something moved under the bed.
Go get Tyler.
What? Tyler?
Yes.
Okay, and I will stand shakily and,
It's all right.
I don't want to leave you here alone.
I'm okay. Okay.
Okay. I'll return momentarily, and I will hurry back downstairs.
It's Marty, by the way.
I'm aware, Mr. Rafferty, thank you.
You head out. You're alone in the chamber. The dead man lies beside you. You saw something that was lodged under his arm moves under the bed.
Stand
The sound of a child.
with my back against the wardrobe doors and press myself against it. And then slowly sink down to the floor and angle my head to see if I can see anything under the bed.
Make a survey or a focus roll for me.
Come on.
I'll use inspection again, if that's
Yeah.
all right. Come on. 6?
Yeah.
Hold on, what's this one? Oh. 6 not on the gilded.
You look down under the bed. With a success, there is shadow under the bed. The only other thing that rests under the bed is what looks like a doll. It's dressed like a clown. It has a ruffled collar, stripy attire. You see it has a painted face. It's Victorian style, it's sort of porcelain, but it's soft. It lies there in the darkness. You can see it.
Hey, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna get in trouble. Come out. I'll take care of you. I'll wait to see if anything moves.
Does Marty, believe that this thing will respond, or does Tyler believe that...
I think he thinks that there's something else there.
Her voice in the cupboard behind you say, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
I whip around. Ignore the clown.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's your name?
Gracie?
Hi, Gracie. My name's Morty.
Hello, Marty.
Do you want to come out? Don't worry.
Is Mr. Caleb still there?
I want you to close your eyes, okay? I'm going to open the door. I want you to keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them.
Okay.
I got you, okay?
Roll a sway roll for me.
I want to use a drive.
You better.
Four.
You open the door. The girl, young girl, really messy, dark hair, very pale skin, slight frame. Maybe 7 or 8 years old. Steps out. Eyes closed. Puts her hands to the cupboard door. Sort of reaches for you.
Can I pick you up? Can I take your hand?
She reaches, and you see one eye open. And you
Just
see
look at
both
me.
eyes open. And she, in terror, she...
It's okay, just look at me. Just look at me. It's okay. It's okay.
You grab and run out, take a brain. Professor, you run back down the stairs. The three of you see Wilf, blood in the wrapper.
Come on, lads. You don't want to get paint on your hat, do you? Come on, come over here. Come on, step away. Come this way with me. Come on.
All right.
Oh, go on, I'll hold that. Go on.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Now, come on, come over here. Where do you sleep? Where's your room?
Mrs. Carson sort of stands, eyes very wide. Well, my room is down the hall. It's upstairs down the hall.
It's upstairs down the hall, and I'll take a little glance at the orphanage lady.
Yeah.
I'd kind of be like, upstairs down the hall. Does that sound like a good place to go?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Come on, Wilf. Come and show me this. This is wonderful. Come on.
Oh, can I show you my room?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, I got some real good, neat toys. Can I show you?
Oh, you need to show me them all, I think, yes.
Okay.
Come on.
Mrs. Carson, is that okay? Yes, I think that's best if we do. Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
And she leads you down the hall up the stairs towards his room. You pass the professor who rushes down. You still see Tyler, Dottie. You arrive.
This is real weird.
Miss Wilson, Mr. Royce, if you wouldn't mind following me, please, now, fast, quickly, quickly,
Here
let's
we
go.
Another day at the office. Let's do this.
As we kind of move back up the corridor and we pass again Mrs. Carson and the child, I will quickly, as I go past Mrs. Slightholme, I will shoot him a furtive glance. Mrs. Carson, perhaps this may not be the appropriate direction in which to be heading. Perhaps you'd like to take Wilf outside for a little breath of fresh air, and Mr. Slightholme can follow myself and my compatriots post haste.
I will take him to his room.
Certainly, whatever's safe. There has been, and I will try and say it without Wilf hearing, there has been an incident, and we would like to investigate.
Make a hide roll for me.
A hide roll? Oh no.
You can roll sway if you like. Sorry. You
Okay.
can roll sway.
I would prefer to. And I shall spend a drive also for this. However, a gilded one in this. That's a 6 on the gilded die.
Beautiful.
Post haste, Mrs. Carson.
You see, Wilf looks to Reginald, says, "But I was going to show the nice men all of my." And Mrs. Carson says, "Maybe we can rearrange to show you those toys once these gentlemen and ladies has finished their business."
Yes, perfect. Wilf, I owe you a chocolate wrapper. That sounds like a strange thing to say to a child, but that's fine. Right, I will see you soon.
All right, I want to show you all my
Why
best
don't
toys.
you pick out your favorite toy, and he'll be up soon so you can show him. Yeah?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay.
Yes,
Alright.
very good, very good. Mr. Slightholm with us, please, now. Thank you.
And you, with haste, rush back up the stairs, and you see in the doorway Marty, who has half lifted this girl who is in pieces. She's in bits. And Marty, sort of rushing her out the doorway, moves out of sight, door still open, just down the corridor, just to comfort.
You adding
Let's
another
go.
kid to the collection, or
Huh?
you're gonna, add this to your collection of kids?
What do you mean?
Are you adopting? Is that what you're doing?
No.
No. Okay.
She's
who's this?
she's a little scared.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna move her away from the situation.
Oh,
Alright.
Lord, we don't have time for this.
Time for the kids to be okay?
There is a man in there. He could be still alive.
What do you want me to do with that?
I don't know, shall we?
All right, let's just go inside. And I'll walk in.
You head in. Do you stay out with the girl?
Yeah.
No longer the sound of laughter, but the sound of muted sobbing as you head into this room. The loss of blood. This man has died here. He's been flipped over. You can see the pool in which he lay face down, now flipped over. You can see blood on the hands of the professor.
I didn't do it.
The open door of the wardrobe. What's important for you to know, Marty, is that as you hold the girl, you can see as her arm sort of grabs onto you, bruises across her wrist.
Okay.
The rest of you enter into the chamber. Only you with the knowledge that something else moved under the bed.
Did you find the body like this, or?
I turned him over in the hopes that I may be able to help
Okay.
stop the bleeding. He was laughing like the other one. There was something that moved under the bed. And I will stay in the doorway.
You can still hear softly, yeah. Much like Miss Darlingford. Strange sound of a man lay dead. Yeah.
Feel like he's reliving a memory, just like victim number 1.
Looks like it.
You say under the bed?
Be careful. We don't know what we're dealing with.
You never do.
Wait, that child, was she in here at the time?
I assume so. We saw something move under the bed and the wardrobe door had closed. I can only assume that it was the child hiding themselves.
She was in here.
She was. She must have seen what went on.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
Wait. I'm just gonna get my camera out, and I'm just gonna take some photos of the scene, just in case, before we mess with anything too much, even though I know you've already turned the body over.
I thought he might still be alive.
That's all right. I'll make a note. I'm just gonna take some photos.
Get out the big old flash,
Yeah.
big old camera.
Look at her bed.
Clunk. Indeed. 123, 123.
I was psyching myself up to go into the bed, but I won't disturb anything if you're
No,
not ready.
go. I've done it. I've done everything I need to do. This is just in case, we're the first people here. Nobody knows about this right now.
Sure.
So we got to make sure that it's all looks to be in order,
Oh, fuck. I'll take out my compass.
Compass dial moves.
Ooh, we're looking good.
Yeah.
Why? More than 4?
4 out of 10.
Well, it's more than twitching now, yeah.
Okay. All right. Where? In which direction? The bed?
Oh, it's not directional. It just tells me if something's here.
Oh. Does it get bigger the more you look at something, or is it just a...
If something's right behind me, it will be doing 360s.
Okay.
Yeah?
And is it doing 360s, or is it... That's doing 360s.
Oh my god!
Doing big swings.
No, it's moving about a quarter of the way around.
Okay. All right. Looks like we got it. Let's go.
Yeah, done.
What a day.
Right, okay.
If you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna go head out and maybe talk to the child and see
Yeah.
and help Marty. I know he's good with kids, but just want to make sure she's all right.
Maybe find out what happened before.
Yeah.
What was
I'll
going
try.
on.
All right. Be careful.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go out.
Gonna try and find.
Head towards Marty.
Go.
Marty. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Is the bed, like, can you access it from both sides?
You
Do
can, yeah.
you want to take a side each?
Okay.
All right.
Which one do you want?
Left.
I'll take the right then.
Okay.
Do you want to take the bottom of the bed? Cover all angles?
Yes.
Come on, Bert, you can do it.
Okay. Please don't call me that. And I will also produce from an inside pocket what looks to be a small silver snuff box, which you two would know to be my bleed containment vial. And I will open it gently, hold it out in front of me, and crouch ever so gently, not leaving the doorway, crouch ever so gently to see if I can see underneath the end of the bed.
We see our viewpoint from under the bed. In the shadow, we see the eyes. The two of you meet opposite sides. And in the distance, in the doorway, a very nervous professor who holds out his small bleed containment. And all you see underneath is this doll. It's yay big, beautifully made. And in the darkness, all you can see is the silhouette of it, really. It wears stripes. But it lies there, alone under the bed.
It's just a doll.
Yeah.
There's nothing else under here, no?
I don't believe so.
I'll reach and grab for the doll
Oh, be careful.
and pull it out.
It's wet,
It's wet.
sticky.
And
You pull it out, yellow, green, and red, striped overall, frills on the cuffs, around the neck, and there was blood splattered across it. You see a big clowny face in makeup on the doll's face. And the hands, which are stuffed, just with thumbs sewn. Inexplicably, the left hand clutches a screwdriver. Bloodied.
I'll look at the victim. Can I see any sort of gash anywhere that could be made with such a tool?
There's puncture wounds to the leg and the chest.
Kind of looks similar size.
Could be.
I think the doll did it.
Don't be ridiculous.
How's he holding that screwdriver? Is he... Give him a...
If I may,
Yes.
I would like to use my role as a scholar to engage my occult researcher feature. So I may take a brain mark for an important occult detail that you would recognize from your studies, but has not yet been revealed in the scene. If there are none, I can clear the brain mark.
Okay.
Is there anything here that I may have stumbled upon in my research previously? Anything to do with dolls or puppetry, clowns even?
I think nothing specific to clowns, but in your research of phenomena and of magic, sometimes things can be instilled with a modicum of life by magic, in whatever form that might take, from whatever source. And this thing that Tyler holds in their grasp, motionless, is the display of something that has taken action, that has had sentience. And so you can think of several examples of creatures, phenomena, that have touched objects, touched mundane things, and given them life. I think you're seeing an example of that now, of something that has been touched by something, infused it, given it sentience. And for that brain, that is, the reminder is as Tyler holds the doll towards you, the clown face swinks.
Tyler, I think you should put the doll down.
What is not putting the
Put
screwdriver
the
down?
doll down.
Okay, all right. Professor's got his pennies in a twist. What's up?
There are certain phenomena that, when given shape and bled into our world, they can instill inanimate objects or dolls with life. I think it's possible that doll is indeed our murderer.
Told you, the doll did it.
Therefore, we should put it down or contain it in some way
I don't think
before it murders one of us.
Okay, all right. Yep, sure.
I don't think he's going to fit into your snuff box.
No, neither do I. I suggest we disarm it.
2 seconds, and I'm going to hold up the doll again to the window, where the light's pouring through, and do it so that I see the silhouette of the doll. And I'll pull out the drawing that I made of what victim number one saw of a silhouette of a small figure stabbing into her, and see if it looks like the same silhouette or whether it looks different or not.
We hold that image there. The two of you comforting the girl, and you hear the voice of Mrs. Carson shouting from further down the hallway. Excuse me, was it Ralph or okay, sorry, good. And you can just hear her calling from further down the corridor.
Could you handle it?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm coming. I'll head up to her.
Okay, you follow the voice, and you see Mrs. Carson still with Wilf at her side. And Wilf is holding a toy soldier, wooden figurine, tall hat, a bayonet, army uniform. Mrs. Carson says, Wilf picked out his favourite toy for your associate. And you look towards Wilf, and the bayonet stained crimson.
Okay. Lovely.
I think maybe your friend should look at it whilst Wilf goes for his lunch.
Of course, I think that would be best. Are you all right parting with that for us? Is that okay if I take it to my friend and show it him?
If you, well,
I promise I'll bring it back.
well, yeah.
We're just gonna be downstairs. It'll really impress him, I know.
It's okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, you can take it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I gotta go for my lunch anyways.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll take care of it.
Take the wooden soldier. You see a shot of you holding the wooden soldier and you holding the doll up to the window. While there isn't a direct correlation with the shape of what you drew, the two things that do line up in this split screen, if you will, is an S with two stars either side, sort of an emblazoned symbol on the military garb of this wooden soldier. And you see embroidered onto the jacket, the overalls of the clown, an S, gold S with two stars either side of it.
Does that mean anything from my lifetime? My rather southern name?
You can make a focus roll, low stakes focus roll.
Would I also recognize it from anywhere?
I guess either one of you can make a focus roll to recall in this moment, I suppose.
You go
But
for it.
I'll allow a help, even though we're doing a little split screen. If anyone wants,
I was going to step up and help Tyler if that's okay. I'm very interested
Y'all
in
go
that.
for it.
Yeah,
I'm
no
just
problem.
like, oh, good.
Insignia.
Okay.
so you want to spend that drive?
I'll
and
spend a
then-
drive, yeah, of course.
I'll also spend a drive. So I have 3 dice to choose from. Come on. 6.
Yeah.
The symbol is familiar because it's on all the posters around the city. It's the symbol for Sosa's Circus Spectacularis, the carnival circus that has been a prominent part of the sort of season of festivities in the city. It too is in the side list, sort of the opposite side of this district, but it's in this district.
There's a symbol of the circus on here.
You gather together with the toy. You come back together in this room.
Everyone, this is Wilf's favorite toy. Would you believe it? And I'm gonna turn and show them where the blood is.
So, demon toys. Oh yeah, this one did this one up here.
Right. Okay.
They've both got the...
Yeah. Look. From.
How long's the circus been in town? Happy? Do you take your daughter?
My attention's on the girl, very much so, waiting for her to calm down. I'm not really paying attention.
You'd know that you'd all sort of know that the circus has been sort of a couple of months in town. As in it's here. It's born of the city, but it's only open for certain times.
Oh, okay.
And they do travelling circus things, so the site still exists, but it's sort of open for a couple of months. Has been open for a couple of months.
Sure.
This
kids,
season.
Do the kids head to the circus, do you reckon? Maybe picked up a couple of toys?
I mean, we can ask. I've already forgotten her name, Miss Carson.
Yeah.
See if they did a recent trip and
Or
maybe.
maybe Marty has that kid.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Is she in here?
no, I think they're in the corridor, but
right.
that's alright, I know, it's a bit stressful.
That's all right.
But maybe don't know, maybe the kid could tell us something.
Yeah, I mean, we can try.
Make a low stakes sway roll. Having already swayed Gracie out of the wardrobe, this is just to calm her down in this moment.
6.
Nice.
No,
Whoa.
that's a lie. It looked like a 6 in the light. It's a 3.
Okay.
Queen of threes.
She's still sobbing, but to the point where you think she could probably talk if you asked her, but she's still emotional.
Hi, Miss Gracie.
No, hello.
Well, like I said, my name's Marty, and
What happened to Mr. Caleb?
well, me and my friends here, we're trying to figure that out.
I think he's.
We're not sure. We're still working that out. But hey, did you see anything in that room? Did anything other than you and him? No. Okay, that's okay. Is there anything odd that you might have seen maybe in the past couple of days? No?
No.
Hey, do you know Wilf?
Yeah,
What's he like? Is he nice to you?
he's really nice. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys play together?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about, Mr. Kalen? He a nice man?
Yeah.
You sure?
He fixed my chair.
Your chair?
Yeah.
What happened to your chair?
I broke it.
Well, that's okay. It's just a chair. Hey, what happened to your arm?
I was playing with other kids. We were just playing.
Okay. Nobody did this to you, right? Just an accident?
Yeah. Make a read roll for me.
I got nothing.
Rolls 1 decides.
1.
Okay. The girl's in shock.
Okay.
She's doing her utmost to focus on the questions you're asking her. But she is a little bit on autopilot.
Okay.
And you've managed to comfort her to a point where she can talk to you, but she's unlikely to give you a more insightful answer just because she's just going through the motions.
I think her crying is making me emotional. And I'm trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
It's all right. No more questions. Okay? Just focus on feeling a little better.
Thanks, Mr. Marty.
I just continue to hold it.
You hear this hushed conversation outside. Do you still have the doll?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to go from here?
I think I will march back down to the corridor, to the room containing Miss Carson and Wilf. And I will pop my head round the door. Mrs. Carson, do you have a telephone?
We have... No, sorry.
Okay.
Do you need to send a message somewhere?
Preferably, yes, if you have some form of communication.
I can send for a courier.
Perfect. Could you tell them to alert Officer Weiss of the periphery? There's been an incident. And if you could ask them to move over here post-haste. Thank you.
Right. You hand them the address to Miss Darlingford's residence.
Naturally.
And head back to the group.
I think that we should check with Miss Carson about the circus and see if any other children have any toys here that they bought there.
Oh, yeah, and
I don't think we should give this back to them. I promised him, but I mean...
I'll come up with something, don't worry about it. Alright.
You pause in this room, and all of your memories flash back just to moments ago as you all came to the robin's nest, and you saw a few dozen children playing in the garden. Nearly all of them with toys. Some with juggling balls, others with planes, some with a kite. The planes, little symbol, little S on their wings. You walk past children in the corridors. One's carrying a rocking horse, saddle emblazoned with an S. There has most certainly been a day trip to the circus, and nearly all of these children have been gifted or have won, otherwise come away with toys from the circus.
Oh dear God.
Do you think we need to go to the circus or?
I think
I mean-
so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but do we really want to leave all these toys here with these kids? We don't know what's
No.
gonna happen. I mean, we don't know what's causing this to happen. You know, what's making these toys act this way?
Well,
What's triggering it? Because right now they're fine.
the phenomena, bleed, as it were, does operate in strange ways. It's just unpredictable, unpatternable. The most that we could possibly do at this moment in time is to
Yeah, but
contain it.
Why is it not going for the children? Why is it not
I'm gonna
activating?
close my eyes and think back to the moment we were downstairs and we heard the sounds from upstairs. And now that I'm in the room, I'm gonna try and have a bit of context. I'm gonna try and just think back to it and just see, or try and remember what it was I heard, or we heard. And was it like in the order of stuff? Was it shout, or was there some stuff before it that could make some sense of what could have happened or triggered this?
Catalyst.
Yeah. I guess this would be a focus roll.
Okay. All right. I will drive this focus roll
You got it.
Am
twice.
I able to help in some capacity?
Yeah. I think you see Tyler goes into their middle distance stare, which you're all sort of familiar with. Sometimes it's the precursor to the other stare, which is the eyes roll back in the head kind of stare. But this is a stare that can just feed that if necessary. You see that. How do you aid them in this moment?
As I glance over and I see the stare, I sort of ruminate to myself. There must be some sort of a catalyst, a trigger, a moment that occurs to spur the toys into life, as it were.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. Well, there was the tumble, and then there was and I guess
There
we
was
can
like a
then
shout.
discuss through what we heard together and try and use it together.
Yeah, go ahead and make that roll.
Okay,
With
all right,
few,
here we
a few
go.
drives pops on there.
Here we go. Let's go. 6.
Yeah.
1 6.
Yes.
The series of sounds is heavy footfall walks into the room. Conversation, shouting, change of energy, change of mood. Scurry, someone's in fear. A scream of pain. Fall to the ground. Followed by an unnatural sound of pleasure. Want a better term. That order of things is clear as far as you remember it. What you connect with that 6 is Wilf, just under one of the locks of hair that peeks out from his hat. Just the tiniest graze across the eyebrow. Tiniest graze. You've seen the bruise on the wrist of Gracie.
I think,
You see the fear in Gracie. There is a protective nature to what these toys have done.
yeah.
Because you've also just remembered seeing dozens of children running around with toys. There are reports of incidents of children being hurt.
Yeah.
Miss Darlingford and Kaylin.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like this gentleman here was shouting at the kid. Then the kid ran away. Then there was a stab. And then he fell on the floor and was making this sound. The kid was hurt.
You think the toys are defending the children?
I don't know, because Wilf had the... Did you notice?
Yeah,
I
I
just
saw.
hit me like a ton of bricks. A little graze on his eyebrow.
I see.
Do you reckon she did that?
So she did that, and the toys are taking upon themselves to protect the children?
Well, weirder things have happened. Who gave them these toys?
Yeah, I think we need to go see.
S, 2 stars. Circus.
Mm-hmm.
I say we go. Marty loves the circus.
I suppose now would be an awkward time to inform you that I may have a touch of coulrophobia.
Well, you gotta suck it up.
What about the restophobia?
Oh, what?
You don't like doing anything, really, do you?
I like my books, and I like my research.
Yes, I'm very happy to go to the circus. There's something funny, Tyler? What? What's funny?
Nothing.
Look, we can't all be muscle-bound, meat-headed explorers, can we? Some of us have to sit behind desks, and some of us are afraid of clowns. Now, I am willing to face that fear if it means we can get to the bottom of this, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Why don't you treat it as research?
Yes, well, yes, quite, yes.
You're all right. We're here.
Well, I want to just say a word to Wilf before we go, but
Where's Marty? Is he?
I think he's just out in the hall. Marty?
Mr. Rafferty?
Just come in with the girl.
We're going to the circus.
Yay!
See? Loves the circus.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Toys. Ask this one. Did they get? Who gave them? No, non-verbal. Okay. All right.
We went
Useful.
to the circus.
Oh, what? You say that again?
We went to the circus.
Oh, who gave you the toys?
I got mine at the big show.
At the big show?
Yeah.
Did the clown give it to you?
No, just a nice lady.
Nice lady. Do you remember anything about her? Hair color, eye color, dress color?
No.
No.
You're not in any trouble. Don't worry.
Oh no. Yeah, sorry. My tone's not very.
It's all right.
It's okay. All right.
Okay. Do I need to give the clown back?
We might keep hold of that for now. If that's all right.
yeah, she's very important to our investigation. We're going to ask her some questions. and we're gonna see what she says, and then we'll bring her back to you. Okay?
It's funny.
Is that all right?
Clown doesn't speak. It's just a doll.
I know, but sometimes they say a lot without saying anything. You know, if they nod their head like this or shake their head like that, that's a lot of
Down there
information.
multiple times.
Would that be all right, Gracie?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You've been very brave.
It's great when they jump out at you as well, isn't it, Gracie?
Hilarious.
Oh, goodness.
Terrific time.
All of this would have been a nice whimsy conversation about an hour ago, but now they can actually do those things. So let's find out how to stop it. Okay?
All right.
Sensible. Yes.
Okay. I, like, gently place her back down onto the floor. It was lovely meeting you, Miss Gracie.
You too, Mr. Marty.
Now I want you to stay close to Miss Carson, okay?
Okay.
And be on your best behavior. And maybe if you're good, we'll come back with a brand new toy for you.
Thank you.
All right.
She scuttles off down the hall to Miss Carson, who's waiting with Wilf.
But will you
You go.
come and talk to Wilf with me? I'll say nothing about
Me?
clowns. Yes, will you come with me?
No, I don't.
I saw a clown.
I don't know if. What?
There was a clown under the bed in the room.
Oh yes, we're well aware, Mr. Rafferty.
This one here.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
This one here that's murdered a man.
Oh, we've not updated Marty on the
yeah.
discoveries. Yeah, this killed him.
And this.
See, I knew it wasn't the kids.
It's the toys, Mr. Rafferty. Yes.
And this did Miss Darlingford as well.
I mean, that is a working theory. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna go talk to Wilf, maybe say that we can't give Miss Toy back right now.
No. Yes.
But I would also maybe advise you to let Miss Carson know the kind of people she has working for her here.
Yes, I think I will.
All right.
Thank you.
What do you mean?
Well, kind of. Thank you, Tyler.
No.
I mean, she has the bruises, and Wilf, he had a.
She said that a chair. There's a.
Sadly, it seems there has been an abuse of power, shall we say?
So please make that clear to Miss Carson.
Yes, of course.
We'll see you outside.
What on earth do you want me to come and talk to Wilf?
But come on. As we
Fine, but I'm
start-
not very good with children.
We start walking down the corridor, and after a couple of seconds of silence of letting Bert cool down, I'm going to just gently say, "Do you still have that coin I found a couple of years ago?
Yes.
Can I have that?"
He reaches into a waistcoat pocket begrudgingly.
And take it.
Produces the coin.
And it is in the same way that a £2 coin is gold and then silver. It's silver on the outside and like a sea glass in the middle. And I walk down and I
Don't give it to him.
You've used it for as much as you can. You found nothing.
I'm just saying, make sure you get it back.
Wilf,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm alright. You see, he's got like grated cheese, just like gathered like on his chin and like just like caught on his coat. He's just got like half a sandwich in his hand.
Did you have a good lunch?
Yeah, Miss Carson makes really nice sandwiches.
It looks lovely. It looks lovely.
Do you want some sandwich?
I wouldn't want to take it away from you, but you keep that, and next time I will take a sandwich.
Oh, right, okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Wilf, I've got some good news and some bad news, I'm afraid. Your favorite toy is I was
Captain Woodsy?
Captain Woodsy. Yes, I was playing with him, but I stumbled down the stairs and accidentally broke his arm a little bit. It just snapped off, but I've got some special blue. See this
Why
man
did
here?
you do that
I
for?
didn't mean to. But this professor over here is an esteemed toy fixer. And he's going to put the arm back on, and it's going to be so brilliant that it'll actually move. It'll be a movable arm that'll swing around like this, and you can use it to attack all the other soldiers in the land. But we need to borrow it for just a couple of days, if that's okay.
Totally.
Is that all right? And in the meantime, I have this special coin from a far-off land. See, once upon a time, I was a famous explorer. And a long time ago, me and the professor were friends. And I found this coin and I took it back, and he told me that it might have magic powers, right, Professor?
Can I make wishes with it, or
No, not exactly. But if you spend a bit of time with it, Wilfred, then perhaps you may discover its secrets.
He's not used to talking, but he's very, very good at studying, and he's found some very interesting things about this coin, but he doesn't want to tell you. He wants you to find out for yourself.
can I spend it on something, or do I have to keep it?
Well, it doesn't work in this country. That's the thing. It's from a very far away place. But I'm
How
sure.
did you get there? And how did you get it back?
How did I get there?
Just a faraway
I
country.
sat on a boat for 3 weeks, and it rocked and it tipped, and I was sick everywhere, Wilf. It was horrendous. But it was worth it for this coin. And now, it's your coin.
Gee, thanks, mister.
If you flick it up in the air, it stays there for a little bit.
What?
Like this, give it to me. And I'll
Hey,
flip
that's
the
mine.
coin, and it hangs in the air, spinning for much longer than it should. And I will snap my fingers, and it drops back into my palm.
I told you.
Don't lose it, Wilfred.
I will keep it really, really safe. I promise. I'm not even gonna. No, I don't even tell nobody about it, or I gotta let her flip the coin.
Well, you go and practice, okay? I'm
really
just going to speak to Mrs. Carson, if that's okay.
All right, thanks, mister. See ya.
I'll see you again for a cheese sandwich. Bye.
Oh, good lord, my palms are sweating.
You did very well there, Bert. You did very well. Can we grab you for a rather
Yes.
morbid word for a second or two?
Of course.
Is that all right?
Yes.
How do you vet your employees before you hire them?
All of the care workers here, trained and vetted by the association. So all of them are.
Okay. And
Paid-
Kalen was a care worker as well, or was he a...
No, Kalen's a handyman, janitor, sort of.
Okay. I would think carefully about the people you hire who are going to be in proximity of children.
You see sort of face, just dread, sort of eyes sort of filled with water. She sort of has a horrible, horrific realization with what you've implied. Quite right.
Well, thank you. You are doing a wonderful job with the children. I would keep
good.
an eye on Gracie for the next couple of days. She's probably a bit shaken, and I would have a look at her wrists as well.
Right.
I mentioned to you before, discussing that there has been an incident. We have shut the door to Gracie's room. I advise you lock it until our associate, whom I asked you to get in contact with, arrives.
Yes, I've sent for.
In the meantime, keep an eye on the children.
As is my duty.
Of course.
Thank you.
You are doing a fantastic job.
We cut from there as the two of you head out onto the porch of the robin's nest and gather once again. Now, mid-afternoon, you journey your way to where you know Sosa's Circus Spectacularis is. And as you approach, you once again hear the sound of children's laughter echoing, and you see children running to the gates that lead to the interior of this sort of grassy, would be a park, but there is multiple circus tents that have been erected, striped white and red. Others have multiple sort of towers. You see a spiraling helter-skelter. You can see bandstands. You can see sort of open park areas where acrobats, fire jugglers perform. You see threads of bunting, strings of lights that light up this beautifully colourful, vibrant carnival come circus. You can hear the sounds of mechanical music that is ringing from different tents. You hear the sound of live music from other tents accompanying some of the acts. But importantly, you can hear the sound of children's laughter. You see parents with the child between them, each holding a hand. The child swings as they walk through the gates. You see gaggles of teenagers running through between the tents. The circus itself, the carnival, isn't in full swing. The lights of the helter-skelter are out. Doesn't seem to be anyone using the helter-skelter. You see one of the tents, doors seem to be closed. Small stand where a mystic would be reading tea leaves is shuttered. But there is still an energy and excitement as the five of you enter into the circus. What would you like to do?
Let's get this over with.
Can I take a look to see if I can see any signs of the toys or the symbol? If there's like a tent maybe with the symbol on it, or if I can see any kids running around with toys with that symbol on, I think is what I would probably start doing.
On the fence on the outside of the circus, you see the posters that you've seen about the city, which have that symbol, Spectacularis, written across it. Some of the names of the performers. As you step in, you can see that same symbol emblazoned on the roofs of some of the tents. You see funfair games where children can win toys, beautifully handmade dolls, wooden soldiers, all of which have the symbol upon. You see some of the workers, entertainers or welcomers, hosts. Some of them have suits on, the symbol on their jackets. You see what looks like a strongman, leopard print vest, big dude, carrying big iron bar with two huge iron balls on them. Big old beard, just strolling through, and you see S emblazoned on the weights as he marches to his performing area.
I think we're in the right place.
I want to find whoever runs this joint.
Yeah.
What was it the child said? She was gifted the toy from someone from the big show.
Yeah.
Have you interviewed anyone here? Did you have to do a piece on them, or the circus coming
Not
into
yet.
town?
I mean, we can use that to get in if you want.
I don't know.
I haven't done a piece yet, so it makes sense.
Why'd you bother? It's a circus.
Maybe say you're here to interview the top dog.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be happy to know that Wilson Magazine wants to do a piece on them.
Well, I hope
maybe
so.
mention the big show. Say you heard great things about the big show.
All right. Are there any signs anywhere that say like what time the show's on, or that we can see? I don't know.
You see one of those signs that is sort of vaguely, arrows pointing in different directions, that say trapeze, that says, caricaturist. These different elements of the circus. none of which say sort of the big show necessarily.
I'll go up to someone there who works there, one of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say, hi there. And I'll hold my hand out.
Yeah, you see a man with sort of slick back blonde hair. Sort of wearing like a colourful suit, has the emblazoned sign on it. You can sort of see the little bit of makeup from a character they were playing, but are now just playing sort of a host as they shake your hand.
Hi, I'm Dottie Wilson from Wilson's Magazine.
Oh, hello.
Don't know if you've heard of me, sorry. I'm just here with some of my team. We were wondering if we could maybe get a little conversation with the person that runs this place. I want to maybe put a little article in my journal if that would be all right. And I'm going to use my press credentials to get me access to a person of importance.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's okay.
And I'll show him the credentials.
Credentials which are of your own making, being your own boss,
Yeah.
but they still withstand. But you have, as always, have a copy of your most recent Wilson's magazine, and you immediately see that recognition in their eyes of something they've read, possibly enjoy, and they say, "Miss, I can, yeah, I can lead you to Mr. Sosa."
Sorry, what was the name?
Mr. Sosa.
Mr. Sosa, that makes sense. That's the name of the circus. Great. Yeah, that would be lovely. Thank you.
It's really nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. What's your name?
James.
James. Hi, James. Yeah, if you could show us to where he is, that would be lovely.
Yeah, and we see 5 of you cut through the circus. You are led by James to round one of the bigger tents, and you can see there's a bunch of carts and caravans, mostly of sort of wooden design, really fun, sort of like colourful paintings across them. You see sort of tents that are on top of the caravans. You see some of them like little awnings. There are sort of pets that are sort of free roaming around some of the caravans. You see sort of seats set out and sort of fire pits. Really homely and lovely. It's not necessarily even blocked off from the public, but it's certainly where the people who work here make their residence. As you're walking, a door swings open, and a person dressed in full clown garb cuts in front of you. Hey, buddy! Hey!
Yes, hello.
You come for the free juggling
No.
lesson?
No, quite all right,
Then
thank you.
what are you doing
making
outside
eye
my
contact
caravan?
At all. I'm looking everywhere but at his face.
Hey!
Yes,
hey,
yes.
hey.
All right, fine. Yes. What do you want? What do you want?
It's real easy. I throw you catch, throw it back to me.
No,
Go on, you
thank
can
you.
do it.
You can do it.
No, I'm fine, thank you. I'm just here on a.
You're better than the balls. Okay, Skittles, ready?
What is Skittles?
You're being coy.
It's your clown name.
Really not. I'm a professor.
Skittles is a great clown name.
I don't think so at all. Thank you very much. I'm a professor of archaeology at the
Do you
Bar.
have books? He might be able to juggle some books.
Books I can juggle mentally. Thank you. We're on a mission to speak to Mr. Soso. Now, if you don't mind.
I'm also on a mission, and he brings the Skittles like to your cheeks to bring you into a smile, to make people smile. Look at that.
Succeeded. Well done.
You beautiful man.
Please leave.
I think my work here is done. And he's just off, juggling the Skittles,
marvelous.
just heads away.
That was great.
I think you've got a knack for that, you know.
Thank you very much.
Circus is great.
Well, I'm glad my fear is entertaining everybody. Now, can we
Your
please
fear?
just...
What are you talking about? Wait,
Did you not hear me when I said coulrophobia?
No, I don't think I was
It
there.
means fear of clowns.
Oh.
Fear of tents.
Oh. Well, there's more than just clowns at the circus.
thought it was
I met my
clowns.
wife at the circus.
Well, bully
met
for
your
you.
wife?
Wait,
circus?
it's fear of tents.
Clowns.
Clowns. Sorry, I thought you said tents. I'm very confused. Sorry, it's
Are
been
you
a hard
married?
day.
No,
I don't know what's going on anymore.
no. Look, just please let us just
All right, deep breath,
speak to
deep
Mr.
breath.
Soso and get out of here.
Imagine having a fear of tents. That would be interesting. Let's go.
That would be rather intense.
We cut to you with James, who's led you to
These guys are
Caravan.
coming with me.
yeah, all of you. Sorry, I
that's
gestured
fine.
you.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
You're on your own.
I was
Good
going by
luck.
myself.
Good luck. Let us know how it goes. I'm gonna get some popcorn and some candy floss.
James knocks on the door,
That's great.
and a man opens. Big man, slightly portly, big curly mustache, top hat, beautiful green and gold blazer, big high collared red shirt. Opens the door, sort of takes you all in. Good evening. To whom it was a pleasure.
Hi there, I'm Dottie Wilson from Wilson's Magazine.
And James in tandem says, "From Wilson's Magazine."
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
I was just wondering,
Would you like to come in, or can I show you around, or what do you need?
Either really. I just wondered if we could ask you some questions, maybe see what you've got going on here, and I could write
Is
a
this
nice
for-
little. Yeah, let's write a nice little article I'm writing just about, things to do at the moment around.
Well, let me show you around the circus.
Absolutely. Whatever. That would be lovely.
As this exchange is happening, I will lean into Mr. Slightholme's ear and whisper, Mr. Slightholme, it may be prudent to engage that little device of yours as we walk around. No? In case we detect anything untoward.
Yes, brilliant. And if you get your snuff box out and anything smaller than a 2-pence coin, we might be able to store it.
It's a lot bigger than it looks on the inside.
I'll have that conversation. Okay.
Put you in there if you're not careful.
Sosa begins proudly lead you through the carnival. Continues with, this tent has been filled with the best clowns for 40 years. I have been fortunate enough to be in the show myself and have curated many, and continues very proudly talking to you about.
So clarification, this has been here for 40 years. I would know that.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And you begin to walk around the carnival. He opens the doors to some of the shows that are happening, shows you some of the outdoor stages. It's a kid show. Compass out. Make a sense roll for me.
A sense roll?
Sense roll, yeah.
Absolutely. As I'm walking along, I'm just going to sidle up alongside Tyler, nudge him, just... I've told you how it works. I'm going to put it in your hand.
If you'd like to roll sense, you can roll sense.
I don't want to roll these
That's
dice
all I
right
can do to
now.
help.
You roll it for me.
Okay.
I don't think I can even help.
Okay.
No, I can help, but I will drive you. I will drive you. Use the compass.
Okay. Hello. All right. Ooh.
Oh.
No. 3.
Which means, because you helped
You get to
We
drive.
both get one back.
in this together, you both get a drive back of your choice.
Oh.
Because we're all in this together.
Doesn't go above your max, but anything that you've spent, you
Yeah,
get
that's
one
fine.
back of any.
Not gonna do it.
The compass, you've seen him use it before, you've held it before, it's not yours. The hand moves. Sometimes it spins, it flickers. You see it. Doesn't make a great deal of sense. But it doesn't give you anything.
Give me anything.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I think I messed you up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, let's keep with this grandiose tour, I guess. Alright.
Whilst we're on this tour,
Yeah.
kind of looking around and observing, can I use my scout feature? If you have time to observe a location, you can spend 1 intuition to ask a question. What do I notice here that others do not see?
Yeah. How does that look? Is everyone else sort of in the same facade of we're here to look around
Taking
for
notes as he's speaking to me.
I think
different to that. How does Marty look?
everyone is coming at this from either an academic perspective or a bleed sensory perspective, whereas Marty, who is very enthused by this type of environment and is used to things that are fun and playful, is just looking for oddities that, you know, in a circus everything is odd, but just anything that sticks out that the others might not be necessarily looking for, like behavioral or
I think you see there is a peculiar nature to Sosa, even though he's very happy and very proud to show you around. He's very quick to leave his own caravan to take you on this tour. Something about some of the tents being closed, some of the rides not operating, seems strange. And I think you see there's a heavy sort of footfall traffic leading to one particular tent. I think those are the elements you pick up as you scout around.
footfall as in
Just like lots of people are moving to
not
to
like
one particular tent.
patrons or staff, just like just footfall in general.
Like people who are here, like guests.
Okay. I think I'm gonna just do a 180, like just confidently turn around and just start walking back to where we saw the abandoned tents, the empty tents.
Okay.
Or closed, sorry.
Okay.
Can I I'm gonna settle into the conversation and just be like, hey, I'm the image designer for Wilson's magazine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm really impressed with the marketing you've got here. It took us a long time. We had a big session where we were, sorting out your logo for
We
your
did, we
magazine, and
did.
it was really hard to find the right W
It
because we
was.
found that some W's were very aggressive, some W's were not so aggressive, some W's gave you a weaker stance, some W's gave you big dick energy stance. So we just wanted how did you come up with the S and the 2 stars? Was that your brain power, or did you have someone come up with that for you?
No, it is. As far back as I remember, it was the symbol for the circus. My sister, she pretty good with pen and paper.
And did she come up with it? Came
Yeah.
from her brain?
Yeah, she did a lot of posters for me in the early days, and then I've some of the other performers very good artists, so they do the posters sometimes. But the S has been the S for.
And they're on the toys as well. Did your sister do that as well, or?
No, my sister's not doing that. No, yeah. Some of the toys we buy them in, some of them we make, but
Okay.
we like to make sure the brand is being put out there. So
Who does the stitching?
a few of the performers are pretty good with the stitching, and some of the wooden toys have like wood burning.
Okay.
Right, okay. Is that a new thing, or have you always done that?
Well, it helps promote the circus by we give out a lot of toys to the children, and they bring them a trade.
Okay.
But that's not a new thing. You've always, given all the toys out to the children. Is that just, so I can let people know what to expect when they come here? Does everybody get a toy?
Most people get their toys. We either give them out as a show, or you can win them as a carnival fanfares, or
Okay. Whilst he's telling me all of this, Tyler's just watching with his artist's eye all the detail, but also everything at once, just to see if there's any tells that pop up of lying or deceit or anything like that, just to see if he's trying to cover stuff up.
yeah. Make a read roll for me.
Shall drive. Six. 2 sixes. For critical successful.
That's great.
He's a performer in his nature, very good at putting on a face, and this is just one of the faces is being the director of this circus, and he's very much enjoying that now. You can see the hair, his dark hair underneath his big hat. You can just see the signs of where someone's just been running their hands through their hair just non-stop. Someone who just has a stress tick that just won't stop. And you can see that the hair's almost just matted to the side of his head there, where he's just run his fingers through it so many times. I think that's all you meant. Sort of, even with the critical success, you just see that he's holding stress. He's not holding back anything he's telling you seems to be truth. But he's wearing a face that covers something else. We cut to Marty.
I didn't mean tent, I meant the caravan.
Of course.
Yeah.
No problem.
Sorry.
I think, just very quickly, sorry,
Yeah.
I think as Marty slinks away, the professor clocks this and kind of turns and follows.
Okay. As you feel the professor with you.
Hi.
I'm coming with you. I'm coming
Why?
with you because I don't like that man.
Why not?
How would you put it? Gives me the heebie-jeebies. What?
No, it's just funny expression.
All right. Well, I also didn't want you to be alone. So. Yes, I have a
Bertie?
heart. Shockingly.
That's so nice.
Please don't call me Bert.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, you gotta act like. You gotta act not shifty, okay? Just
Nonchalant.
yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Relax.
sure.
Yes.
I beeline for the caravan, just looking super confident.
I
You,
attempt to do the same.
two of you, in your own way, confidently enter into the caravan. It's not locked, it's just closed. You enter in. It's a cozy space. There's a little desk in the corner of this sort of first bit of space. There's a cozy corridor. There's a sort of little kitchenette that's sort of attached to the side, and a couple of doors that lead into a couple of bedrooms. As you open the door, you see there's a young girl, beautiful long blonde hair that is tied perfectly in a braid. She's wearing sort of a slightly oversized jacket that's not for her, but over her, and she's sat, and she has a small book on her lap. She's sat cross-legged on the bed, and she's reading. The two of you enter the room. She just looks up. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry. I hope you don't. Was she a young girl or?
She's probably sort of 9 or 10.
Okay. I'm so sorry. You just saw me, right? I was in here. I think I dropped my keys. Just gonna have a look around. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thanks. And I get down on the floor and start pretending to look for keys, but whilst I'm doing so, I'm just looking around the room, seeing if there's anything, if there are any toys in here or anything odd looking. Looks like it shouldn't belong in here.
Professor.
Well, I would like to assist in the investigation
Okay.
by distracting the young girl
Okay.
and talking to a child.
You peer over to see. She's reading. It looks like a little novelette.
What are you reading?
Oh, it's the tale of the heebie-jeebie monster.
Ah, yes. Frighteningly good story.
It's pretty scary.
I try and catch her attention from another thing, and I point towards him and I go,
Do you grow spines out of your back and have tentacles for legs?
What? No, don't be ridiculous.
It says here the heebie-jeebie monster was white-haired, wore glasses. Oh wait, no, he's also big and fat. That's not you.
No, it's not.
You can roll with the help if you want to spend any drive, a focus roll or a survey roll if you like.
Do I spend the drive? Is that correct?
So you would spend the drive if you.
I will spend the drive.
And I'll use inspection to gild one of those die.
You got it.
So 2 of these are gilded.
What sort of roll was this? Sorry.
It's from your intuition.
Intuition.
6.
You open up a tiny cupboard, and not the one with the phobia. You see like a clown mask on a hanger with a full clown suit, and you open it, and it looks at you, but there's nothing in it. It's just the full suit. Close it too, out of eye shot of the professor. You don't find any toys in here. You find some paperwork, names of the people, performers here, list of the various shows. You find odds and sods of figures, administrative, financial. But nothing that looks untoward.
Okay. If I look through the financial papers, does it look like everything's running okay?
It's not the nicest hotel in the city, but it's a circus, and they're doing fine.
Okay. Cool. Oh, I found my keys.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you for your time, Miss.
Oh, and then he uses his legs to rip off the heads of
Lovely.
the people.
Yes,
Hey, where'd you get that book?
quite.
My mom gave it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this story before? Like a fairy tale?
Yes. There's reports of boogeymen, heebie-jeebie type
I've never heard of
men,
it.
ghouls in every major mythology since the beginning of time.
Oh, you're just being... Okay, yeah, sure. Well?
Aren't you a little young to be reading something like this?
No? Are you not a little bit old to be at the circus?
No one's too old to go to the circus.
Trust me, my dear. If I had my way, I wouldn't be here.
Somebody invited Grumpelstiltskin, huh? Sorry.
Mr. Rafferty, you found your keys?
Yep.
Shall we?
Yep.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Ms.
Morella.
Thank you. for your time.
Goodbye, Morella.
We cut from a charming song in the caravan.
Candela.
And we arrive sort of in the central courtyard, if you will, of the circus. It's busy with people coming to and from various shows, performers moving in and out of tents. Sosa finishes the tour in this central space. Says, Miss Wilson, I am very excited to see the report, the story put in the paper.
Yeah. I mean, just before we go, is there anything that we should maybe know about? You know, anything that you would pride yourself on doing here, or what people should look forward to coming away?
If you have not seen...
No, I've seen everything is amazing. Trust me.
No, you should see the show.
The show? Oh, the show.
It's a big
alright.
puppet show. It is one of our big... We have worked very hard on it. I recommend,
Lovely.
if you have not sat and watched the show, it's even for adults, it's very entertaining.
Alright, when is that? Is that soon?
Yes, I hear the music.
Perfect.
The show may have already started, but you can dive
You
straight.
can sneak me in. All right. Amazing. Well, should we go watch the show?
Yeah, all right. Is this gonna be in the same edition as the random murders that are happening?
Potentially.
Sorry, what?
Just random killings that are going on.
Is this part of your... There's no big... What?
Not here.
Not part of the same story, darling. Don't worry.
Just saying.
Just maybe in the same issue, we've got some pretty big news coming out soon as all.
I'm looking to see if that triggers the same.
It does.
Okay.
Not in murders, but
No.
just that same stress definitely sort of comes to rise.
Okay. But-
Don't worry, your section will be far away from that section.
Yeah, nothing like that's been happening here, so.
Right?
I mean, we've not had any incidents here, right? Everybody's been safe.
Yes, of course. I look after the performance as best I can. We take
And,
care of each other.
Yeah, okay. Great. All right, well, thank you so much for showing us around. Let's go watch the show.
Okay.
You see the professor and Marty arrive in this main courtyard, and you're led in to big tent. You see rows of chairs before you. As you arrive, a couple of sort of hosts usher you to some of the chairs. So right towards the back, the show's already in full swing. You see there is a wall, a partition in the centre. Huge sort of wooden circus of lights that lights the stage below. You see there's a wooden floor that's been put in. And you can see there is another sort of small partition from behind which you can see these large sticks that are attached to two sort of 8 or 9 foot tall wooden marionette puppets. You see one of them is dressed in like a pinstripe suit. They have sort of a white and black beard, receding hairline, big pants. You see the other is depicted as a younger boy, also dressed in sort of a fine pinstripe suit. And there is laughter in this tent. And you can see the two puppets performing this incredibly slapstick piece. The big puppet falls over, and it looks like the marionette of the boy sort of laughs. There is fruit that is thrown up in the air to sort of depict the falling and slipping over into muck. As you are sat into your seats, you can hear the sound of unbridled giggling, crying of laughter from the children that sit and watch. In itself is a spectacle. The puppets are really well made, and you can see from your perspective just the tops of maybe 4 heads of humans that are sort of dual operating these puppets to create this show. Fairly impressive. And you sit at your seats, and you can see a mechanical sort of musical machine, so one of those rotating sort of brass auto pianos that jingles the music. And the marionettes continue. You can hear the heavy clunk of the wooden feet as they dance on the floor, as the man sort of tips upside, all the kids laugh. As the puppet is raised once more, there's a crack, and the head of the man, of the puppet, has split in the fall, and the head sort of splits in two as it has been cracked open. And the laughter of the children goes from laughter that dies down, immediately goes to screaming. The children scream. No longer are they laughing, and you see the puppeteers try to pull the puppet away below this partition. In doing so, just end up ripping the head in half as the other puppet sort of collapses, as the other two sort of rush around in an attempt to clear this space as the bits of splinters of wood break away. The children scream, and you see a bunch of parents sort of stand up in front of you to grab their children. And you hear from within the tent somewhere a voice say, "You're spoiling all the fun." And you see a shadow from within the peak of the tent descend through the ring of the chandelier, down, some drips of shadow, and land behind the partition. And you see children and their parents begin to flee out of this space. What do you guys do?
Oh, good lord.
Are there any hosts or, ushers?
See a couple of hosts, but they're sort of getting swept up in now like a crowd of people that are attempting to just flee from the tent. And they're just getting swept up in the tide of people.
Right, Mr. Slightholm, your device?
Spins frantically. And you see the form, the shadow that has fallen behind this partition rises. And you see arms reach out to those who were controlling the puppets, and one raises it into the air, throws it towards the side. You see it crashes into the music box. You hear a crunch as bones hit this brass machine. The one is raised up, and you just see it crunch, and you feel and hear the sound of the squelching of this puppeteer who's now been squeezed by this thing that is growing arms.
I will pull out my own bleed containment vial, which is like a little pot of what looks like it should contain paint and ink in it, but it's actually completely empty, and it has the ability to contain some bleed. I don't know, but...
And I will reach into my waistcoat and pull out the tiny, tiny, tiny silver snuff box.
All right.
Do we injure it first, or...
I don't even know if it's corporeal, and I'm going to lean down and grab a remnant of fruit and throw it at the bloody thing.
You throw this banana peel.
Perfect.
Flies and sort of passes into the darkness, sort of disappears. And you can hear the voice once again emanating from this darkness. Say, "They were having such a good time." And you see a hand reach over the stairs towards the five of you.
Everyone duck!
I quite assure you they weren't. And I dive beneath the seats.
I will make myself large and try and run over that way and draw it away.
Make a move roll for me.
A move. I'm going to use a drive.
Hey, that's my act.
What?
That's me, then.
I'm going to use a drive. A move.
Good luck.
Move roll, yes.
Put one of them down. Pick up one of these. Come on now. I will not take the gilded, but I will take the 6.
Okay.
Yes.
Gilded was a 1.
As you stand on a chair, you see this hand form in the dark shadow, reaching towards you, and you manage to scuttle your way across several of the chairs as this thing follows you. As it does, you leap off, grab one of the beams above you, and the hand underneath it attempts to reach for you, and you sort of swing out the way, your legs disappear into the rafters. At the same time, you see the two huge marionette puppets, one now with its head split in half, stands, but the sticks that were operating it just hang.
Nope.
As it is brought to life. You see the other one stand the same, and they begin to move. What do you do?
I pull out a handgun and shoot at one of the marionette puppets.
Amazing. Make a control roll for me. Oh, sorry. Yes, a control roll.
Yes.
Oh, go on.
And here we go. Ooh, 5.
5. You see the figure of the pinstriped man. The face is split from here, and you see just one eye, half the beard, and you see the mouth sort of open. As you fire the gunshot, you see the smoke plume out, and you see the bullet. The mouth begins to open, strikes, and you see splinters of wood jettison out of the back. but you see its long arm reaches and just grabs your full hand, and you see what was just before sort of a wooden hand sort of gains life, and you see long splinters like claws rip through your fingers and hand. Take a body.
No.
And in fact, take a bleed as well. No, just take a body.
You sure? I was.
No, you're good. It was a 5.
Okay.
The rest of you see these shears of wood, and now and the face of this half-faced puppeteer now blown out.
As the shadow, which is now pursuing Mr. Slightholm, passes, and I believe perhaps he may have ran past myself as I cower under the seats. I will tentatively look at the snuff box, and in theory, what this should do is essentially act as a vacuum, because it is much bigger on the inside. It's a very small window. However, shadows, as we all know, are incorporeal. So what I shall do, rather foolishly in my opinion, is stretch out my hand and shove it into the wrist of this hand and attempt to suck it up.
Yeah. This is going to be a control roll. You see that the snuff box, you hold out the snuff box, and it's mundane until you will it to activate, and you start to see as shards of splinters of wood fill the space from that gunshot and the smoke. You start to see it drawn into the snuff box, and you see the shadow that passes you, this stream that is the limb of this thing that's chasing Reginald. You push your snuff box into it, your bleed container.
I will spend a drive on this. Fuck my pencil. Am I allowed to spend more than one drive at once?
Yep.
I will spend 2 drives. And that means I get to roll 2? Or yes.
If you've got one already,
I do not. I have
if you've got
nothing
none,
in
then if you're spending 2 drive,
I will roll
you'll
2.
sorry, because if you've got nothing, you'd be rolling 2 and taking the lowest. If you're spending 2, that'd get you to a straight roll. Spending an extra 1 would get you to 2.
I think it's 2 dice, yeah.
Yeah.
I see. So I roll 2 dice. Oh, good lord. That's a 1 and a 4.
Okay, so mixed success.
So I plunge my hand into this shadowy mass and will it to get in the box.
Yes. And you see the tether as you pull it pulls you, and your arm is thrust, and you feel the essence, the bleed, the phenomenon, this shadow pulled into the containment unit. The way your arm is thrust, it follows the trail of the arm that is reaching towards Reginald. You see the hand grasp and disappear into the containment unit, but you still see the body of this thing, the bulk there, and as it's sucked into the containment vial, you see your own hand, shadow-like for a moment, take a bleed mark.
Oh dear.
As this is happening,
I'm in the stalls still, and I'm jumping over rows of seats trying to reunite children with parents, watching out for kids who are going, Mama, and like trying to lift them up over the seats to get to their parents, and that's where my focus is at.
okay, you can make a move roll or a control roll here.
Ooh, 2 dice, I really killed it. I'm gonna move. Double ones.
Okay.
That's so not good.
Snake eyes.
You leap deftly over the chairs. You're able to dodge your way through the people who are scrambling. You can see a woman who's fallen over. You're able to pick her up. You rush by and you can see there is sort of a parent and child is sort of just frozen in shock and awe right near the front. And you rush down, you literally pull them from behind and pull them towards you, and you run, gather them up, rush out towards the exit. You immediately see as two lance-like bits of wood through the shoulder of the woman and through the belly of the child, and you see blood splatter out through the front. You see the child falls to the ground. The parent screams as you are saying, you're grabbing this kid. You feel the momentum as you rush them to the tent doorway. You take 2 brain as this child sort of goes half limp in your arms, the parent running with you, screaming. You run out of the exit through this wave, this tidal wave of people who are screaming, running for their lives.
As
outside
I'm
of the tent.
running and get caught in the crush, and I've got both of them, I feel that happen. I look towards both of them. It's okay. You're okay. And then I pass out and take a scar.
How many do you have?
You already had one.
I thought
Yeah.
you had 3.
And how fitting that a girl and her mother should be rushing out of the tent in your arms. You looking towards Reginald, this happens underneath you as you swing sort of over the entrance above this crowd of people. You see the hand retract. Barely in the scuffle. I don't think any pick up on this because these figures fall in the rush and the crush of people who are running out of this tent. Dottie, where are you in this moment?
Well, I was going to say I was helping people get out there as well. I'm helping people get out the tent, but
How does that look in this moment? You see Marty sort of rushes down towards the stage over some chairs, deftly as they do.
I think Dottie rushes kind of back towards the entrance. She's looking for anybody else that works here and also seeing what they're doing, but they're like swept up in the action, so she's just like pushing people out of the tent as much as she can.
Okay. Just make a. You can use. If you want to use sway on this, you can.
Okay.
Just to use your force of personality.
Yeah.
Yes, rather than
Run.
physically moving people. If you'd like to use sway, you can.
I'm gonna drive it. I think. Gosh. Oh no. That's a 3.
Okay. Top of your lungs, shouting for these people to leave over the sound of screaming, over the sound of a gunshot. Panic, and near the entrance you can hear this panic spilling out into the carnival or the circus. You look out. As you do, a large gentleman who is literally carrying his son in his arms runs square past you. As you turn, just cracks you in the jaw with his shoulder as he rushes past you, pushes you in the tent, and your head smacks against huge pike that holds up part of the tent wall. Take a body for me.
Ow.
As you do, you can see the groups of people who are spilling out of the tent as you, swinging down from the rafters, reloading your gun, holding onto this bleak container valve, as you for a moment see your hand turn to shadow and back again. The people rush out. You can see Marty face down on the floor. You can also see the shadow is now itself puppeteering the body of a marionette that no longer has a face, and another one. Their limbs still extended in wooden pikes, claws out. You can hear the voice once more. You poisoned what is most pure. Make it fun again. Make them laugh. What would you all like to do?
I would like to. Oh, what am I saying? I would like to try, because we know that these phenomenons are often, they come into this world essentially, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
From like a split.
Thinning, yes.
A thinning. I want to look for the source of this thinning,
Okay.
or the source of where this thing is coming from, by Tyler will just like, it kind of hurts my hand. I'm like, oh, and kind of just brings a sense of like sharp focus, and he's just going to just tune into this area and just see if he can sense where it is strongest, and try and find like the source.
And make that sense roll.
Okay.
Sort of, not necessarily high stakes, but there is you taking that time to assess is not you reacting to imminent danger.
No. 4.
Okay. Thinnings aren't necessarily something your circle has encountered a lot. You're well informed on them, but they show themselves in various ways. The makeup of this creature is similar to things you've fought before, shadow and darkness, giving life to inanimate objects. But nothing in this space shows you a thinning, and nothing that you've seen on the tour that you took implies that there's a thinning in this space. This creature has found itself here in some other ways.
Okay.
So, up at the back of the auditorium tent, what have you, Albert is staring at his hand momentarily, and as the creature speaks, casts a glance over to Mr. Rourke, and
Mr. Royce.
putting 2 and 2 together, Mr. Royce, sorry, putting 2 and 2 together, children laughing, laughs turning to screams, the monster upset, he begins to Mr. Royce, I do believe that my box might be slightly full, so perhaps you might want to use your own.
As this happens, make a sway roll. Anyone who joined in the laughing can spend drive.
Yes.
I will give you one.
I'll give you a drive.
I am gilded in sway. Therefore, I get an extra dice and then 1, 2, so 4 total, is that right?
I gave you one, yes.
Yes.
What do you have?
Sway, I'm gilded.
1. So we got 3 dice. One's gilded.
Okay.
Are you spending a drive?
I will not spend
No,
it.
then 3.
I only have 2. Oh, that is a 5 on the gilded die. I think I shall take that.
So 5.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a really good show.
You begin to laugh. And the puppets are facing you, crunching through the wooden chairs. There's still the sound of people whimpering who've hidden in corners of the tent here. But these beings that have been assaulted are now being toyed with or tailored to as you begin to laugh as best you can. You see a puppet with no head sort of collapse to the ground. And you see the one that's still moving. He just smiles. His hands still spark. Stakes. Still moving towards you, but it smiles. There's a sense of recognition as it moves towards you.
Oh, fuck this. Knock, knock!
Who's there?
Interrupting archaeologist!
Interrupting
Fuck
archaeologists.
this! No, it's not working! Right.
I don't think there's a roll to be made here as you attempt to joke falls flat. Spiked arm plunges into your stomach from the marionette that remains, and you hear the Shadow's voice. Go on.
I'll cough up a little clotted globule. Oh, Tyler?
Yeah.
What's the one I told you earlier?
A dyslexic walked into a bra.
That's the one. What do you think of that, you fucker?
As the spike is released from your stomach, the marionette chuckles
You like that one, do you?
and collapses to the ground as the Shadow coalesces into your still open bleed containment vial. The sound of the laughter of the marionette. You take 2 body for the spike that drove straight through your stomach.
I don't think I have a scar. It's on 4, I think.
Gotcha.
But I'll say that I'm still passed out.
Face down, being
Face
trampled
down.
upon.
Yeah.
No
I'm
problem.
running over there anyway because I'm nearest to you, but I'll let this happen first.
The Shadow sucked into bleed containment vial. You take another point of bleed as your bleed containment vial is over full.
Dear, where is mine? As a matter of fact, with a sort of grim determination, I will make my way down further towards the center of the ring. And as the Shadow sort of is sucked into the little box, there is a spark of defiance in the professor, and he thrusts his hand forward, and I'm going to use my Steel Mind speciality to soak that brain mark and not take it.
Appropriate time.
So I burn an intuition for that.
Amazing.
How does that?
An intuition drive point.
Gotcha. Yes. So I will burn a drive and soak it as I continue to advance with the box, propelled by a sudden confidence that this is actually working.
And you see the Shadow is spilling and gripping around your hand. It's pouring out as it's contained, but it's saturated.
And at that moment, I think the laugh becomes genuine. It's like,
Is it all gone, or is there more?
You see the 2 marionettes now lie in pieces,
Okay.
given life by this Shadow that is now contained. The bleed from this entity is the thing that has been powering these toys. Given life by the joy, innocence of children. Given purpose to protect them, to maintain that sense of innocence, joy, curiosity. The patrons of this show may not fully understand what they have seen. Sosa's circus, depending on the article that is written, may or may not remain open. A reputation may be soiled. The children, Wilf, Gracie, in their own way, have brain marks, scars, potentially. But perhaps less so because of the phenomena that has protected them. You guys gather your things, dust yourselves off, and head back to the chapter house to debrief. And we cut to the next day. Heavy rain falls. It's a bright day, but there was a heavy rain in the sky. And we see the 5 of you distantly stood on the path that cuts through the cemetery. And from a distance, you watch a small circle of friends and family who hold service for Eloise Crawford, previous member of the Circle of the Eighth Floor, as she is laid to rest. And you each lick your wounds and count your blessings. Take heed of what happened before and how her caution, bleed container specialist, informed some quick decisions and some brave, bold moves. We just see the silhouette of the five of you, the lighthouse like keeper, as you watch Eloise laid to rest. But you each prepare for the next assignment may be.
Just as we go to head off, I'll just grab Dottie. Hello, was there something going on between you and Eloise?
What do you mean?
Well, you were the last thing she thought about. She regretted not telling you how she truly felt, so funerals, I hate them. They don't do nothing for me, but hey, maybe if there's something you regret to tell her, now's the time. Take care. And then I'll walk away.
I think Dottie will just stand there for a few minutes while everybody kind of leaves. And just says quietly, I wish I'd have told you too. I'm sorry. Just takes a deep breath before walking away.
And that's where we'll end this episode of Candela Obscura. Thanks so much for playing, joining us. So much fun.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Little sideline at the end. Oh my god.
Oh, me.